All right.
Um, and welcome now to our second attraction this evening, in which you will see what was unlocked in Jeremy's adventure last week within this within this scrying orb, and that is Pete and Jeremy's D&D Time, episode 0.
This episode was never streamed. It was run completely offline as a test run for Pete and Jeremy's D&D Time. When we ran this, all the concept that we had was that we were going to do 1 hour streams featuring random people. I don't even think it was necessarily Yeah, it was featuring random people. That was on the docket, right?
Indeed it was.
Yeah.
And we had spoken a little bit, and you'll see that some of the canon things in the world had been decided, but this is baby Pete and baby Jeremy in their first ever attempt at running D&D Time.
Yeah, you'll see we both look a little different. Some of us maybe a lot different.
Jeremy has a long hair.
Yeah, one might say there's hair on my head, a considerable amount of it. The episode just before Xanderil came around.
This is the only episode in which Xanderil was not part of this community.
Yeah, the only one, and it's because it was our secret test run private episode. So, I hope you guys enjoy it. I've done some very light editing, but it's pretty much just straight through.
Yep.
Unless we had a major technical snafu, it's great though. I'm really liking it. I hope you like it.
me too. I hope it's fun.
This was our first one, so
yep. You'll see some difference in production value for one thing. I'm really excited to watch it again, and I hope you guys have fun.
Yeah. This is this is our 100th episode, and so we're going back to ground zero. So I hope you guys
And there's one last note before we go in. Thank you all for hanging out with us for 100 episodes, and I hope we see you all for 100 more.
Yeah, Farful is in this episode. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So.
Yep.
All right, we're going live in 3.
Let's go in.
2, 1.
Hey, fantastic. Everybody. Hey, what's going on? My name's Pete.
Oh, and I'm not Pete, which means I'm Jeremy, and we're Pete and Jeremy.
So what I was thinking for this part at the beginning of our show, what we would do is we would kind of explain what the show is. And
that sounds like a terrible idea, Pete. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, what I was thinking is, we should do it every time so that people watching right now know that they can hop in the stream at any time. Or not really at any time. That's a gross exaggeration.
Pete,
but if you're watching and are interested in joining our stream, you can check out our page on Roll20. We have links to that in our description below on Twitch. Not yet, but we will when this is done.
When this is real.
Yes, when this is real, that will be there.
This is Pete and Jeremy's D&D Time, the lost episode. So keep that in mind. This is going to be off the books.
And it will stay off the books for all time.
Sam, who is Dorf Moss, and he will be playing... Dorf, how about you tell us about your character a little bit?
Well, I am playing Zeatron O'Kellic, who is a tiefling barbarian.
That's one hell of a name. How'd you come up with that?
Well, Roll20 randomly assigned it to me, and then I added a vowel. I won't tell you where.
Wait, Jeremy.
Ooh, that's Jeremy, a mystery, folks.
Before we introduce the rest of our characters, I think that we should do that in the actual game, so that way it burns up some of the hour of the game time of people introducing their characters briefly.
That makes sense. Oh, we didn't even play our song!
Well, I thought we were going to go to...
I think the song has played enough.
No, well, now we go to a waiting screen and say, all right, we'll be back in just about the length of our theme song.
Well, we set up
our first game. Hey, great.
All right, now we're gonna jump over to the waiting screen. We're in the waiting screen now, and
Hey there, folks. Do you know what time it is?
Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. Pete and Jeremy's D&D. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. Pete and Jeremy's D&D.
Pete and Jeremy, you don't know that have some fun. When they on the race, don't you Pete and Jeremy's D&D.
when Jeremy's D&D Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. Come and have some fun, play D&D. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. Come play some D&D with me. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. So many fun things to do. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. This is our invitation to you. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. Pete and Jeremy's D&D. Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. Pete and Jeremy's D&D.
We've been on, we've been on the play screen for a while, actually. I don't know how long we've been on the play screen. Oh, right, I switched to the play screen so that I can change the names.
You're the best.
This is why we work out these bugs in advance, Jeremy. This is the reason.
And Bibblegob, thank you, Sam. I don't know what you are, so you're 3 question marks. All right. Pete,
I am.
DMing.
I told you I was at.
Okay, I'd be happy to DM, but let's just talk really quick about that. Jeremy, next time we do this, do you want to... Okay,
No, I
I'll
can
just
fix
go in. We'll just go in.
No, it's fine.
All right, fantastic. Today's adventure is going to be called The Great Big Chess Tournament is the name I just came up with. The Great Big Chess Tournament. And as you may expect, well, before we begin, why don't all of you go through and introduce your characters one at a time. Starting with...
Picking this right.
Starting with the name that I would be looking at on the stream that's on the little banner, but I can't see right now.
My name is Zeatrano Kellic.
Yes.
I am a tiefling barbarian by trade and a fire eater by accident.
A fire eater. That's pretty
Yes.
cool. Why is it by accident?
Because I am afraid of fire.
You're a fire eater that's afraid of fire?
A tiefling fire eater that's afraid of fire. Yes. I was hired by a circus, and they knew that I was a tiefling, and as such, assumed that I would be a fire eater. And I agreed as long as I didn't directly hold the fire and I could close my eyes. For all I know, they're just having me stand there.
Well, assuming that you're a fire eater just because you're a tiefling is racist, and that's the kind of thing that we will not tolerate here on
Well, that's why I
D&D
left the
time.
circus.
Everyone
That's why
knows
I'm
that
here.
tieflings breathe fire. They don't need it.
Well,
Anyway,
yes, I was rescued from the circus by Pete and Jeremy's D&D time.
Fantastic. So we have...
Wow. That's convenient.
That's great. Great cross promotion there. So we have Zeatrano Kellic, the tiefling barbarian. Fantastic. Who's next?
That would be Droat. Oh, wait a minute.
What?
What just happened?
Go ahead.
Tom, you want to introduce your character?
Confused.
I am Kizliki Fair, the tiefling sorcerer of draconic bloodline, Silver Dragon, a noble woman who, before she gets married off politically, wants to have some adventures.
Fantastic. And what's your kingdom? What are you a noble of? What's your nobility rank?
I don't know this world well enough.
You can just say anything.
in Jeremy's D&D land.
You can just say anything arbitrarily. But if you don't want to pick something, I will say that you are a duchess. And fantastic. So that is, I saying this right? Kizliki Fair?
Kizliki Auk, my name that I give to people is Fair, because it's
Okay,
easier
so
than
I can just
Kizliki.
call you Fair. That's fantastic, because Kizliki was going to be very difficult on me. Cool. So we have Kizliki, the draconic bloodline sorcerer who is a race of... What was your race?
Tiefling.
Oh, we kind of nice theming, guys. Next we have Carl. You want to go ahead?
I am Drotid Kizaz, also known as QCav, and I am a local hero with a great destiny ahead of me.
How did you earn your claim to fame? What makes you such a hero?
Oh, this weird bird guy showed up in our village, and we didn't know what he was saying, what he was doing, so I killed him. And
that's called xenophobia.
Yeah.
And next we have...
Actually, this is funny. Sorry, go ahead.
A very special guest here on Pete and Jeremy's D-Time. D&D Time. That's Pete and Jeremy's D-Time is a completely different fucking show.
It's a very different show.
Yeah, that's
not suitable for this.
We use that on a different streaming service. But Pete and Jeremy's D&D Time. One of the namesakes, we have Jeremy Gilbride with us here today.
Yeah, that's me. It's funny. I was freaking out trying to put the names on the signs real quick, and I just couldn't figure out who the last person was.
Well, obviously they don't matter.
So I'll be playing Glumdrum Ironsteel. I am a dwarf cleric. There are a great many things that make me important, powerful, but to be honest, all I want to do is, not see that terrible beastie again that defeated my tribe.
And that...
We're tribal dwarves. We come from up in the mountains, but not in the mountains like most dwarves. It's strange. We swing from branches and trees.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an excellent use of character voices. I encourage everyone who comes on here to use character voices. It means I will like you more if you do that.
Yeah, you get bonus Bartholomew.
Yeah, you get bonus. You get extra XP if you use a character voice.
Pete, we talk about Bartholomew bucks.
Well, I figured I'd talk about Bartholomew. I figured I'd write about Bartholomew bucks, and then we'd do the Bartholomew
we
bucks.
it next time.
When because it's not like we're gonna have people go to the shop after the first one. I assumed we'd be going for a while before we actually go to the shop, but we won't be going for a while before we hop into tonight's scenario. So as I mentioned, this is the great big chess tournament that you're going to be attending here today.
Oh yes, yes. Attending.
In a sense, you are going to be on the staff. You see, tonight's chess tournament is of grave importance for the kingdom of Velovia.
We're participating.
Just hold on a minute. Let me explain the scenario, and then I'll let you know when it's the speaking time. Would you give me 1 second? So, you have been hired by one Gorvis Figelstein. Gorvis Figelstein will be competing tonight in the chess tournament. Tournament is a bit of a strong word for it. It is a one-on-one grudge match between Gorvis Figelstein and Borvis Figelstein. You see, the Figelstein brothers are nobles by birth, and recently their father, a great king of many years, has passed away, and in his will he determined that his successor would be chosen by the greater in a game of chess. Now, Borvis Figelstein is a very difficult name to say, and also he's been known for a bit of mischief. You have been hired by Gorvis Figelstein to make sure that the playing field is level and that he, as the superior chess player, is able to win as he rightfully should and succeed his father on the throne. Where we find ourselves now, you are on the office of one Captain Finnick. Standing alongside him is Gorvis himself, as they are greeting you for the first time, as you've been hired here as adventurers, as bodyguards. The captain gestures to all of you and says, so, a group of you are the ones that we ordered, the bodyguards for hire.
Yes, we are.
Yes. Is this the speaking time?
I'm sorry, I forgot to specify that this was the speaking time. Please, at ease, you may speak when ready.
Oh, yes, we're
I'm
here.
not ready.
Oh.
It appears that dwarf has a rather normal voice.
He's coming down from a cold.
So, as you know, we're expecting well, frankly, some trouble on the side of Borvis today. And then...
I'm sorry, man.
Lord...
And this is why I need to be on.
Hey,
Continue.
hey, great meme. Gorvis at this point speaks up, and he says, "Now, Captain Finnick, I won't have you speaking ill of my brother in this way. I'm sure we have our differences and opinions, but at heart he's a good man. He's a Finkelstein. I'm sure he only wants the best for our kingdom and our empire." At which point, Captain Finnick says, "I'm sorry, Lord, I was out of line. You shouldn't be thinking about any of this stuff anyway. We're just gonna do our best to keep the place secure, and you don't have to worry about any of this. You should be concentrating on your tournament. You got a big game to win today." At which point, Gorvis says, "Yes, you're right. I should go and do my meditation before we begin the game." And he walks out of the room. Captain Finnick says, "No, Borvis is absolutely going to try something. Gorvis doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. You see, Borvis Finkelstein is evil." And he motions over to the window. And
I guess.
yes, and gasping is actually the
Why are we
exact appropriate response. As you look out, you see Gorvis's twin brother, Borvis. And as you turn to him, Gorvis, who's wearing, these beautiful, long, flowing white robes, Borvis is wearing these dark, blood-red robes with skulls patterned upon them. And as you glance over him, you can see, off in the distance, a storm cloud and a single bolt of lightning crash into the ground. And Borvis is in the midst of, you see him in the midst of instructing and setting up kind of the playing field, the surrounding area where, this is an event that's going to be covered by lots of fans and audience members, and he's sort of directing the setup of the event. And you see in his direction, a small orphan comes up to him holding a bowl, asking for food, and he kicks the orphan away. At which point, Captain Finnick says,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he just kicks him. Yeah, he just kicks him. At which point, Captain Finnick says, "See, he is an unambiguously evil man."
Is there
He does
no
look
law
unambiguously
against
evil.
begging in this land? It's rather uncivilized.
That's terrible noble.
All in agreement. Beggars should be executed on the spot, but kicking them is just poor form.
You're right. It is. It's a little brutal.
That's a dirty look for you that you've earned.
Out of touch with reality.
Now, what I would like you all to do is make sure that the unambiguously evil Borgus Finkelstein doesn't get up to any of his dirty tricks. I have no idea what he has planned, but I need you to get in the way of whatever that is. Gorvis
I'm going to go stab him.
All right.
Sounds like a good plan.
I mean, that's probably a bad idea because he has his own bodyguards that he's hired for this particular event. I imagine you'd meet some resistance if you went up and tried to stab him, although... I mean, Borvis wouldn't like it, but it certainly would get the job done if you think that's the best way to go about this. But I didn't say that. You didn't hear that from me.
This is a window, right?
Hey, you're looking out a window right now.
And about how far are we from Borvis? Evil one.
From the evil one, you are probably only about 50 or so feet.
What if we just shot him?
I have a decent shot.
What are we going to shoot?
I'm sorry, friend. You died a little.
You're a robot, friend.
Oh, no, Jeremy. This is the first time I've heard this happen all day. You became a robot.
I think our dwarven friends might be a construct.
I swear, it's the consumption. It'll go away.
You sure you're not a warforged?
Sure enough, it seems to be gone now. That was a very strange moment. Are you possessed by some type of arcane forces?
No, it's the consumption. The Red Death.
Fair enough.
The Red Death? Is that?
It's how Grandma died.
Is that
I
bad?
take a step away from him.
Anyway, I think you're getting a little bit overboard just killing the man outright. I mean, I was assuming that he was going to be up to some minor mischief, like, trying to, like, switch the pieces while the other guy's head was turned or something like that. And I imagine the referee has been paid off.
Oh, well, if he tries to cheat, I'll just melt his hand off.
I mean, that would be
seems a
poor
little
form,
excessive.
and that would result... I mean, if you could do it without anyone knowing it was you, that would be excellent. But if you melted his hand off, that would absolutely result in a disqualification for Gorvis. And if you cause Gorvis to be disqualified, you will not receive any pay.
Wait, we're getting paid for this? I thought I was just captured.
What?
Wait.
No, you're getting paid. You accepted this as a job. You're getting 50
Oh.
Bartholomew bucks for this, which is a weird currency to have requested. But
Oh my.
so, I mean, perhaps now you're more
Hey.
motivated. Now that you understand that you're being paid, perhaps you're a bit more motivated now.
Oh, yes.
So it's about an hour until the tournament begins. If there's anything you'd like to do before that, we'll do it because you only have an hour. And really, you only have about 5 or so minutes because this whole thing can only take an hour of narrative time.
I
I think
understand completely.
Should we be doing a timer?
I started one on my
Dungeon
own.
Master Pete.
Yes.
Do we have any actual in-game currency that we could use to purchase things from the bazaar?
I've been thinking about that, and I'm going to say that yes, you have 50 gold, but really you have your starting gold. But maybe there'll also be regular gold rewards.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm thinking. What if we go down to the bazaar and we all purchase like 2 or 3 10-foot poles? No one's going to see that coming. And then we can use the poles to poke him while he's playing, distract him.
Oh, you're talking about mimic sticks.
Actually, yes, I've heard them by that name. Wow, this voice is not sticking around.
Are you all right?
It's the consumption.
It's the
This is how
consumption.
Grandma was before she died. I've seen it before.
Oh, all right.
Captain Finnick says to you, I think that's a good idea. I have some 10-foot poles I could lend you out of the storeroom.
Wait. Hold on.
Well, actually, I don't know if
Aren't
they're
they just
regulation.
playing chess?
Yeah, they are just playing chess, but this is like kind of like a silly world.
Oh, well.
Whoever's the best
how
at
would-
games gets to rule, obviously.
What if we set up a circus behind our employer and very flashily did things to distract?
Well,
No noise, though.
Just to clarify, we're not being hired to hurt the other guy's chances of winning. We're just hired
You're being
to make
hired-
things even.
Yeah, the goal here was for you to make things even, but if both of them end up getting hurt, technically that's an even of a sorts.
Are any of you the sneaky type by any chance?
No.
I am made of
Some
stealth.
discretion?
No,
Excellent.
not at all.
Well, I think
Not
no,
really.
that's fine. What was your name again?
Are you talking to me?
Tiefling. You're
Yes, I am. I am
Trino?
Tiefling. Zeatrano.
the Trino, right? How about, since you're so stealthy, you go sneak around and try and find out what exactly he's planning, and then maybe
you
someone else can try it.
You misunderstand my strengths, in that I do not have those.
All right, if you want, you can get the 10-foot poles, and then
Hey,
someone's gonna need
I
to
can
talk
do
to
that.
his guards, see what they can figure out, right?
Well, what if
maybe we
I
can
can do this. I can do this. This is my job. I can
all right?
I will help you with that.
No, I got it.
Kukav.
I got this handled.
Are you
So,
sure?
where would those mimic sticks be?
Probably down at the bazaar, right?
Well, no, our friend here said that he had some.
Yeah, just follow me back to the storeroom.
I'm gonna go do the
All
thing.
right, that's not suspicious at all. Let's go.
I guess it's a little bit suspicious, but I mean, you asked me where the things were. Like, I wasn't trying to be rude. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll go. And he starts walking you to the storeroom. You arrive there, but a few moments later, going through the twisting corridors of the castle, it's a small plain room, and you see a number of objects. He says to you, you can help yourself to anything that's in here if you think it'll help. I turned out 10-foot poles. I'm not sure if they're regulation. I'm not sure if they're regulation 10-foot poles. They might be 11s or 12s, but they should suffice.
Well, that's all right. We're not playing by regulation mimic stick standards, are we?
I mean, I don't know what mimic sticks are, but perhaps not. You look briefly around the room. You see the aforementioned poles, but in addition, you also see a number of other basic adventuring supplies, things like lanterns, barrels, rope, something else arbitrary that you might name if you want it.
Tarp.
Tarp? There's
Tarp.
Not like a tarp in the modern sense, but kind of some large pieces of fabric,
like tent.
Things being like an old tent cover,
Easily moved.
or uncut flags. Yeah, canvas. Sure. So you grab some poles and some canvas.
I grab all the poles and
I grab a barrel.
Canvas.
You get six poles and a fair amount of canvas. And you're not there. You're going to talk to the guy.
All
Right.
Where is this chess match taking place? Is it in like courtyards?
It is in the courtyard surrounded by walls. And as you can see in the courtyard when you're looking out the window, there are stands being erected. There's a couple of balconies that have been kind of like fastened onto the walls.
But it's under the sun?
It is under the sun, yes.
All right, I try to set up a little sun shelter for our soon-to-be champion.
I'm gonna get a barrel.
Fantastic. Okay, you're going with him. Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a barrel, and I'm going to cut out 2 little feet holes and 1 like eye hole, so I can like walk around in the barrel. No armor.
Absolutely. I'd like you to make a quick survival check for the quality of this barrel work, or if you have proficiency in carpenter's tools.
I'll take the natural 20. First roll of Pete and Jeremy's D&D time.
Congratulations. You woodwork the fuck out of this barrel.
Pete, are we going to be swearing on the stream?
I imagine that we would fucking just say whatever the fuck we fucking pleased. But I mean, we're not going to do it.
Sensibilities have been offended.
My thoughts were we wouldn't say any of the mean swears or we wouldn't say any of the swears.
No, we need to toggle on the adult audience button.
Oh yes. I figured we wouldn't say any of the swears that are sexist or racist, but we would say the swears that are regular.
That are fuck.
Basically, fuck, shit, and ass.
Okay.
You take some fuck, you take some shit, you take some fuck, you take some shit, you get a fuck shit stack. Moving on. Yes, you carve the absolute shit out of this barrel. There are, 2 perfect lug holes and a little eye hole. And you're going to take 0 penalty to movement in this because you managed to
good.
You managed to carve the legs so perfectly you can just kind of like lift it up, and with your small dwarvish size, you can just move around in this barrel now. This game has become Metal Gear Solid.
May I look around?
That is what you do in this
any
time.
nefarious spells.
Can I get like a mini pole, something that I could like keep in there, like just like a stick, so I could like poke it out of the eye hole?
Yeah, you can have like a little stick. That's not unreasonable. You snap off the end of one of the 12-foot poles to make it even with the rest of the other poles, and you have like a 12-foot long stick. Or sorry, a 2-foot long stick. So, Tom, your character's name is
Fair.
Fair. What are you doing during this preparation time?
May I look around the area for any nefarious spell work?
Spell work, absolutely. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh, all right. Investigation.
Okay, you begin canvassing the area. Even though it's still in the setting up phase, you can see just now, like, they're starting to complete it and people are starting to pour in. The whole area of this courtyard is filled to the brim with spectators who want to watch this historic game of chess. Most of them are kind of like upper-class nobility. As you work through, you do recognize a couple of mages. One catches your eye, actually. You see at his side, you see the crest of the Finkelsteins, but noticeably it has a couple of skulls around the outside of it, and some like scary looking fire, implying that he is specifically aligned with Borvis Finkelstein. This is it appears to be a wizard of sorts. He's carrying a spell book. You see him kind of like skulking is the best word you could describe this guy with.
We like Gorvish, right? Not Borvish.
Yeah, you like Gorvis.
Okay.
Borvis is the evil Finkelstein.
May I go up to him and just try and distract him as much as I can with random inane chatter?
You approach this kind of skulking wizard, and as he sees you approach, he says,
"Is there something I can help you with?"
Why, yes. I was wondering what kind of mage you are. I love magic so much.
I'd like you to... he says to you,
"I am a wizard, if that is really of your concern. Is there something else I can help you with?"
Serve my concern.
I have much to do right now. I am very busy.
Oh, I can see you're very busy just standing around waiting for something to happen. I mean, this is...
magic requires a great deal of mental preparation, and I am doing that right now. As a wizard, it is my job, and as a subordinate of Borgus Finkelstein, to keep this area secure, and that is what I'm doing, and you are interrupting that.
I'm also keeping this area secure for
Very
your
good. Well, then
master's brother.
Well, then you may do so
I don't
somewhere
like
else.
the look of you.
And this kind of discussion of him asking you to leave and you just continuing to persist continues on for the remainder of the time, and he is definitively distracted in this time frame. And last but not least, we have, and the name of that character is QCAV.
All right, I go down to... How close can I get to Borvis?
You can get to about maybe 10 feet from him before his bodyguards look at you and kind of step forward as so to interpose themselves between you and him.
Right. So I call out, "Hey, Borvis! Borvis!"
Yes, is there something I can do for you?
Yeah, as the hero of this story, and you're the villain, I would like to hear your villain speech about what you're going to do at the chess tournament today.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
8.
He says to you, I think that from my perspective, you would be the villain of this story, and I would like you to take that into consideration before you speak in such broad generalizations next time. As for what I plan to do in this tournament, win.
Ho ho.
You're one of those kind of villains. All right.
And you're one of those kind of villains.
I give him the like eye to eye thing with the 2 fingers.
The 2 fingers.
Yeah.
He takes 3 fingers, which he doesn't quite make sense, but he's like in a bad attempt to one up you, like does 2 fingers on one eye and one on the other, and does it back at you.
What is that?
I'm even more watching you.
Oh yeah, well I do it with 4 fingers.
Okay. And in a similar manner to Fair, this back and forth continues until the time is up. Both of you continually increasing fingers by 1. You're on elbows by the time it starts. At which point the trumpets. That's what those people there are. They're musicians. They have big brass trumpets, and you see them begin to play their beautiful fanfare signaling
Aha!
signaling the tournament's beginning. Gorvis and Borvis both.
I was going to say, is it fair to say I'm in position?
Yes, I'm going to assume. I was just about to ask you guys once I describe the scene where you all are, and I'll come back to that briefly. Yeah, no problem. So Gorvis and Borvis both take their seats at the table. All the audience kind of sits down. Everyone settles in. It's standing room only. Moving anywhere. Assume that anywhere you see in this little space, it's crowded, and you're moving as if it were difficult terrain because there's so many people packed into this courtyard. If you would like the location of a particular person, ask me, and I can put a thing on the map. And this person right here will be represents the referee. Where would you guys like to be? Up above, there are balconies. The main gate of the castle is in this northern section. These are the balconies here. There's people crowded all around. The entrance into the castle, how you would enter in the courtyard from the castle, is over here on the eastern wall. Where are you guys?
Which seat is whom?
This is Gorvis. And
I am behind Gorvis, on his right shoulder.
Very good. On his left shoulder is Captain Finnick.
I want to be next to the evil one.
Very good. Are you in the barrel?
Oh yeah, I'm stealthed up.
I would like you to make a stealth check to see how much.
Can I assist and sit on the barrel? But that would move you.
Well, he has to get to his spot first, is the thing.
So I gotta wiggle up there.
So he has to wiggle, and I don't know if he can do that with you.
I could roll you there.
Yeah, if you want to try.
I'm gonna.
If you want to try and carry him inside of the barrel, there you could you could do that. But if you rolled him there, they would see the footholes.
I could carry you. Shall I try, or are you an exceptionally dense?
Or do you want to?
Glondrum Iron Steel does things on his own.
All
right.
Totally.
All right. Cool. So
that's about what I do.
You step in your barrel mech that you have created for yourself. You said you're trying to position yourself right behind.
Right, adjacent to that guy.
Okay, you kind of very slowly, you get the barrel done with that crit in the first 10 minutes, and then the next 50 minutes up until the tournament is you just taking one slow step at a time, getting closer and closer.
Slowly, yep.
Yeah, until eventually you're probably about 7 or so feet from him. The bodyguards are near him there, and it's kind of risky to go farther than that. But if you want to try and go even closer, then you can.
Absolutely. I need to get close enough to the board.
Oh, you want to be right adjacent to the board?
I'm trying to get up the board.
Okay. You keep going on. I'd like you to make one more stealth check, please.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you walk up to the side of the board, and one of you're kind of there. You're there for a little while, but eventually you just kind of one of the porters that's working the event looks over to the cooking staff. He says, "Hey, who left this barrel here, huh? Somebody take care of it." All of you hear this happen.
Do we know that this barrel?
Do you know? Did you tell me that this was your plan, or is this unknown?
Yeah, that's a good thing to ask. Have we been discussing our plan amongst each other?
I'm going to say that you have. Yes, you are aware. You are generally aware that he's inside of that barrel.
I shall deal with it. I wiggle it under the tent and sit on it.
Okay, so you end up. Where did you want to set up the tent, by the way?
Where is the sun?
It is high noon.
Which direction does the sun go? Does the sun go this way or this way?
It goes north to west.
So this way.
Yes.
In that case, I set it up in this area.
Okay, very good.
So that it could...
so it shades him and continues to shade him throughout the as the day progresses onward.
It does not shade the board or his opponent.
Very good, very good. So you set up your tent, and you can see Borvis on the other side talking to his porter. Why don't I have a tent? Why don't I get shade while I play? You're fired. And that porter. I do
the finger guns at the guy that got fired.
Yeah, he's weeping uncontrollably as he runs away. He actually doesn't notice your finger guns.
That's all right.
Or make a performance check with those finger guns for me, if you would.
I am proficient.
Nah, he doesn't notice your finger guns.
Can I assist him with thaumaturgy?
I don't think that's a you can't. Yeah, sure, why not? Go ahead and
actually, I assist him with prestidigitation when he does his finger guns. Little sparks.
You do little sparks. Okay, sure. Go ahead and make a yeah. Go ahead and make another check.
All right.
Yeah, he definitely does not notice your finger guns, but there are sparkles coming out of them. They're impressive to you.
So I would like to make a question here. Do you do advantage rolls like this, or just do you re-roll them?
I re-roll them if their advantage is given retroactively, because something else came up after they made the first roll, but I don't. Because I don't think it's fair if you get the 19 once you know what it is, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that completely.
Though I do want to just point out, he just made fire basically appear on your fingers.
I am vigorously blowing my finger guns now.
Oh, yes, you're very much afraid of fire.
Yeah.
Probably a crossing of the bounds. How deep are we on time? I forgot to actually click my timer.
Not far. We've only been doing this for about half an hour.
Okay, cool.
Plus 25 minutes.
Okay, that's about on pace for where I want to be. Cool. So, everything, the stage is set.
Tom, we're positioned.
Yes, I forgot about that. First name, Fair. First, Fair, where are you? This
somewhere
wizard...
within 30 feet of the board that has shade.
Okay, so the wizard is kind of like skulking underneath the balcony. There's a little bit of an overhang where he's kind of behind the board, and that's where you were talking to him. Once the tournament begins, he asks you to leave his zone directly.
How do you think that's fair for you to monopolize the shade?
We have the shade.
He says to you, I would ask you to move perhaps to a different balcony, and he gestures over, and there's just to the right, he's under this balcony. There is shade under this balcony. It is also kind of empty underneath of it.
I guess I'll step over.
Okay, cool.
I'll keep an eye on him the entire time.
Yeah, and you're definitely within 30 feet. You're.
I would like to let people know that I'm not disconnecting, but I'm dropping people's audio rather frequently. So
myself included.
If you ask me something and I don't respond, it's not that I'm not paying attention. I can't hear.
Okay, good to know.
That's strange.
I think it's the school's internet.
Internet problems, yeah.
Yeah, it's not because of what we're doing.
All right. If you think you're not heard, just send us something in chat and we will check it out.
Well, it's not like I'm not hearing everything. It's like people are just cutting off mid-word, so I know I have a general gist of what.
Okay, yeah, so that should be.
Someone call out to me and I might miss it.
Okay, cool. So lastly, we have QCAV. What's your setup? Where do you want to go?
So I want to be somewhere like up and behind Gorvis, so that Borvis can see me, and I can see him.
So do you want to be on the balcony?
Is it a balcony?
So Gorvis can see you.
So Borvis can see me.
Okay, so Borvis can see you. Okay, so you want to be. The best place for you then would be to be mounted on the castle wall over here on the right, because if you're just standing, you could stand directly behind. You could stand directly behind Gorvis alongside of Citrano.
No, I want to be up.
Okay,
and
so
like,
yeah,
somewhere I could effectively be, if needed, a distraction up on the wall.
Okay, so you're up here on the wall. There are a couple of like regular castle guards patrolling the walls, but overall it seems pretty. It's pretty dead up there. You're very clearly visible from that location,
Right.
and you would have a direct line of sight. The only thing slightly blocking you is the tent that is set up.
Tent.
But you can kind of like maneuver yourself down farther along the wall, and that no longer becomes an issue.
And I've got my sparklingly cleaned iron pot with me that I can use to reflect the sun occasionally at Borvis.
Fantastic. All right. Very good. And so the referee steps out, dressed in his resplendent referee uniform, the traditional referee hat of the Velovia Kingdom.
Does he have a whistle?
Which is a top hat. No, but he does have a little bell.
All right.
That he it's actually not on his person, and a kind of like a small servant boy runs out with a little velvet pillow with the bell on it. He's standing there kind of pompously waiting. He takes the bell off the pillow. I now declare this grudge chess match for the inheritance of the Finkelstein Empire begun. Ding, 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 ding. He rings the little bell. It's very high-pitched. And there's some very polite clapping by the assembled nobility watching this event. And Gorvish Finkelstein makes his first move as he places a pawn on C2. I'm not going to go through every single move of this chess game. Do not worry. As you guys are
really
just kind of yeah, I actually don't know if that was probably a shitty move. But as you guys are watching around, is there anything in particular that you want to look for? Is there any kind of signals that you're waiting for? Anything that you're doing in this chess tournament? While you're just kind of observing?
I'm watching to see if Borvis tries to do anything, like, nefarious. And if he goes to, like, move a piece when Gorvis isn't looking or anything like that, I'm going to shine the sun right.
Very good.
I'm watching their mage, and if he tries to do anything, I'm going to distract him.
Yeah, knowing that I got Qkov waiting to shine the sun if he does anything wrong, because I don't have a good vantage point, I'm going to just watch the board through the little peephole. And if he does move a piece, I'm going to use my little stick and stick it out of the peephole and try and move the piece back. We're going to counter cheat.
That's something that will probably require a distraction to pull off to the referee.
That's what the light's for.
Yeah, there it is.
Hopefully.
For the sake of argument, I'm going to assume that you guys have perfect coordination and that you guys have been adventuring together for a very long time. You know each other's moves. Even though you are far apart in this courtyard, you understand each other's kits and abilities so well that you know exactly how someone would react.
We've been giving the standard issue adventurer earring communicators.
This isn't the first time we've
You don't have them.
Iron
It's
Pot
just
trick.
raw instincts. It's just raw adventuring instincts. That's how good you guys are.
It's almost telepathy at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely. So, just when it begins.
That would actually be a cool spell, group telepathy.
I would like all of you to make perception checks. Jeremy, you're probably going to be at disadvantage because you are inside of a barrel.
I see nothing.
Doesn't matter though. Very good. All of you kind of looking around. Yes, you see nothing. You're under your tent. It's very pleasant under the tent, and the light breeze floating through on this beautiful spring day, along with the shade, sort of very relaxed, and you've kind of almost forgotten the tension of the moment for a second because you're literally just watching people play chess. It's very boring.
Fair to say I'm sweating in a bucket.
Yes, you are in absolute focus because of the very dire conditions you find yourself in. From your particular angle, you don't really notice all that much. You don't really notice all that much happening. But one thing that all of you do notice is that the band sort of repositions themselves over to here. The trumpet players.
Do I notice as well?
This you do not notice because you're focused on the game, but everyone else does notice.
Is the band still playing music?
Not currently, no. They are silent at the moment. They played their their fanfare to announce the beginning of the match, and at this point, also, Fair, you notice the wizard under the balcony is poring very much over his spell book right now, over on his section.
If
underneath
he
the balcony.
starts casting anything, I'm going to use thaumaturgy to make tremors underneath his feet.
Okay. So you have the ready to action. You have the ready to action to shine a light if there's a cheat that happens. So what happens is Gorvis, he goes to place a opponent on the battlefield, and the trumpet players, the trumpeters, all of them all at once go once again into their fanfare, but this time it is blaringly loud. And
crazy how they can play violins and trumpets.
I know, it is crazy, isn't it?
Magic.
What a world.
It's a silly place. The trumpeters blare out, and you see Gorvis kind of like, he's putting his piece down, and he goes, whoa! And the piece kind of like falls over to the side, and doesn't actually end up landing on the square that he was expecting it to land on. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry, I fumbled due to the trumpet players. And the referee says, hold. Once the piece has been placed upon the board, it may not be moved. And his piece has been moved to an unintended spot. Unless any of you had a reaction that you would like for that particular situation.
I shine into the ref's eyes.
Go ahead and make...
No. I don't shine into the ref's eyes.
Okay.
I don't know how that would help because Gorvis admitted his what he did. So is this like to try and stop the trumpet players, or try to stop the ref from saying?
I'm just asking you if any of you have a reaction to this. Nothing specific.
Okay.
On Orvis's next turn, I'm going to do the same thing to him with thaumaturgy. Just loud trumpets next to him.
Very well. At which point, the referee, you see Borvis sort of smiles a bit as it happened. He says, "You should be more focused, brother." Gorvis says, "No, you're correct. That's my mistake. It's what's fair is fair." And
hey, I'm fair.
Borvis goes to make.
Oh no! I unplugged my headset.
Borvis goes to make his next play. And you're going to. The referee at this point turns to the trumpeters and says, "I would ask you not to play again during the game if that wasn't clear from the beginning." They kind of like sheepishly stand back with like sly grins on their face. As Borvis goes to make his next play,
I make the sound come from where the trumpeters are.
How are you going about doing this? I imagine you're trying to be on the stealthy side about this.
I mean, thaumaturgy doesn't... I only need sight, so I just look at the trumpeters and it sounds like they're playing.
I mean, if you cast it, does it have verbal and somatic components is my question?
Just verbal.
Okay, yeah, so you have to say some words.
So you're going to whisper them.
Yes, I'm just going to have you, since it's only a whisper, I will have you make your stealth roll with advantage to not be noticed as you cast this spell.
Alright,
you certainly succeed. Under
just
your
kind
breath,
of stretch and yawn and cover my mouth, and
you hear the exact same blur out of like where the trumpets are on the field right as he goes to make his move, and Borvis goes to put down his chess piece and fumbles, and the pawn falls at a different space than it was originally intended, once again evening the playing field. Borvis at this point turns to the trumpeters, a look of pure fury on in his eyes. He says, "Guards, have these trumpeters executed." And the guards kind of look around nervously and go over and take the trumpeters and escort him out of the courtyard. Boris goes, "That seems a bit excessive. I will pardon them when I win the chess game."
So much writing on this. Why is there a stick?
Yeah. That kicks up the stakes. 4 lives hang in the balance.
As someone proficient in chess, how's the game going?
Go ahead. You're proficient in chess?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. it's a little bit tough to see all the moves from where you are. You're a little bit reading faces, but there is a crier that's calling out the moves, and to the best of your ability and knowledge, Gorvis definitely seems to be the superior player here. Borvis, the only thing he seems to have going for him is the fact that he's trying to cheat. And so far, you've negated that. So Gorvis is definitively winning the game at the moment.
Cool. When Borvis, sends them off to be executed, they're being marched off like this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he watching?
Is Borvis watching them being marched away?
Yeah.
He's kind of like standing up in a bit of like a harumph with his arms crossed.
Sort of do like a wave thing to try and get his attention, and if he looks at me, I do the fucking eye thing again.
Okay. He looks your way. I'd like you to make a dexterity check to see if you can snipe him with the light. Or make an attack roll that uses your dex.
Oh, are you doing the finger eye thing?
Right. Is this with proficiency?
You'll have proficiency once you've done it a couple times.
All right.
You'll gain proficiency over the course of this. Yes, you definitely hit. You've earned 2 points towards your proficiency. It takes 4 points to do it.
All right.
You're halfway there.
Yeah, halfway there.
Halfway there.
You've tried to lighten his eyes. He looks at you, and he takes both elbows, kind of awkwardly raises them up, but he can't quite get them over his eyes, and then points at you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah?
So in this moment, right, where there's this like light and a distraction,
yes.
Do I see any of... So from my position, I know it's not a good one, do I see any of Borvis's pieces that look like they're in a position to be taken?
To be just like sniped off the board?
Yeah. No. That could be taken by.
In the game.
Yes.
Gorvis has a commanding lead, but from that first slip up, he has a rook that is in dire jeopardy in this moment.
Okay. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast Spare the Dying on his rook. That's all.
That's excellent.
I am going to direct the referee's attention to this gregarious attempt to delay the game.
The referee looks at you and says, "It seems the only one delaying the game here is you." And as he says that, you can see right above his right eye is a small tattoo of the Finkelstein crest, but with a skull next to it and some like demon wings, telling you that this man is most certainly under the employ of Borgish Finkelstein.
What do you mean? He's standing there watching the prisoners be escorted.
What I mean is, you're speaking out of line. The game continues, and if I'm not mistaken, it is Gorvish Finkelstein's turn at the moment. He has not taken his move yet. And Gorvish goes, "Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I was distracted by all the commotion. I apologize for holding the game up." And he makes a crushing move forward towards Borvis, which Borvis looks very frustrated about, exploiting Borvis's dropped piece. Another stretch of time passes in the game, it's come to a bit of a stagnation. The rook was immediately taken, as unfortunately spare the dying does not affect constructs.
I tried.
Alas.
It was a good effort. The next thing that you see happen is from the door over yonder. Both Borvis and Gorvis have been growing tired, and you see a waiter come out with two goblets on a platter, and approach the table, intending to bring them their mid-game refreshments.
I examine the waiter for any indication of his allegiance.
Of his allegiance, absolutely. Go ahead and make a perception check. His eyes flash a red, signifying that he is most certainly evil. This waiter.
Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Is he coming down from here?
Yes. The mere look that you give in this moment is enough to alert every single person in your party with their killer party instincts that this is the case. Yes, he's coming from that direction where I just pinged. He's heading towards the table, tray in hand.
And where is Borvis? Where's the evil guy?
He's the one on the left. Gorvis is the one on the right.
Coming up behind.
Yes.
Right.
What do you do as he approaches?
I don't know. I wait.
Okay.
He's approaching?
Yeah, he's approaching.
I say, I shall transfer these. I shall transfer the refreshments. There's cables about the tent.
Yes. He says, as you wish, sir, and he hands you the tray.
Are they marked or otherwise indicated?
There's two different drinks in them. One of them is a kind of like one of them is kind of a viscous yellow liquid, and the other one appears to be wine.
Oh,
That's not obvious
Gorvis.
at all.
My liege, which would you like?
He says
The wine or the pus?
he says, "Oh, it's not pus, it's egg yolks. I always drink protein in order to energize myself during a nice game of chess."
I would recommend against it, sir.
Why is that? It's imperative for me to drink my egg yolks. I don't know how I would concentrate without them. Borvis says, "I'll take my wine, if you would."
Very well.
Thank you.
I give him the egg yolks. I'm terribly sorry.
Would you like to make a persuasion check to try and convince him to not drink this? You can do that if you'd like.
Yes.
It seems like that's where you're headed.
Yes. All right. I would like to formulate my reason instead of just saying you shouldn't do so. My lord, I was reading a treatise the other day about how egg yolks actually decrease your concentration in times of stress.
We're running up on 10 minutes, by the way, Pete.
I'm rounding up on
about 10 minutes to the hour.
Okay, excellent, thank you. So, go ahead and make a research check. He says to you, "This is disconcerting news." He takes the goblet and he goes to drink it, and he's about to drink it, and he throws it to the ground, and it smashes, and he says, "Bring me a glass of water. No more egg yolks for me. Thank you very much, son." And Borvis kind of like turns his head and makes like a kind of a grimace motion. His plans once again thwarted.
Do the egg yolks sizzle or anything?
Yeah, like a little like plume of smoke that's like green and looks like a skull floats out of it.
See what I mean, my lord? Look, there goes your concentration. If you had imbued that,
I feel more focused than ever. And I would like you to make a perception check. Fair.
Okay.
I'll say you have advantage on this since you've been fucking beamed in on this guy since day one.
Fuck is my mouse? There we go. Perception.
You.
I'm killing it.
You definitely noticed as the wizard who you've been watching this whole time begins incanting his spell. He throws out his hands forward. You had a ready to action for this, which is you're casting Tremors, right?
Well, it's thaumaturgy, but yeah, I'm gonna
you're making him Tremors. I'm gonna say he has to make a concentration check to get through
Tremors in the ground.
So he's gonna make his concentration check, which he just barely succeeds.
Damn.
Despite the tremors, he throws out his hands, and all of a sudden, a powerful gust of wind flies through the area.
Sounds exactly like Jamie.
Nice. Gorvis's wild hair flies all about, and in this moment, he is blinded. Many of the surrounding nobility are all kind of like moving, shielding their eyes. But Borvis, in this moment, expecting this gust of wind, goes on and tries to quickly move a piece on the table.
I try and throw the light into his eyes.
Is that an attack roll? Yeah, that's the same thing. You actually just barely miss his. No, you do hit. You do hit. The light flashes in his eyes,
and
you're also hopping in on the bandwagon here, aren't you?
I certainly am.
Yeah, because I know you
guiding bolt to knock one of his pieces to a slightly worse position.
You're trying to like pinpoint accuracy guiding bolt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I just miss?
What's the AC of a chess?
What's the AC of a chess piece?
I think I don't know.
I feel like it'd be like 5.
Yeah, I don't think it's difficult to do. What ends up happening, Jeremy, is can you roll damage for me? Jeremy, you guiding bolt. You go to shoot one of his pawns like back a space, and it just explodes. But everyone is
it's blown away in the wind.
Yes, the wind carries the dust away. However, the referee, who was kind of watching in this moment, he's gonna actually I'll let him make a perception check to see if he notices the guiding bolt that flew out of this barrel.
Can I roll a stealth check with disadvantage?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I don't know why I bothered asking.
Yeah, he does notice, and he says, "Guards, arrest that barrel!" And he points at you. But with your flash of light, you do not quite cause him to miss. He still manages to move the piece slightly, but you do gain another +2 to your proficiency. You are now proficient.
Are they
light flashes?
Are people still super distracted?
No, this distraction kind of ends the moment it calms down.
Would you like me to roll a perception check to see this, as I am on the ground, in the field, one would say?
What are you trying to see?
The piece moving and vaporizing.
Oh,
both, I guess.
Oh no, you knew that was...
everyone saw it.
Yeah, you knew that was your boy.
Okay,
so
what about the piece moving?
The piece moving?
Yes.
You definitely saw it happen, but you don't really have any clear way to prove it in this situation, and the referee certainly is not going to take your side.
So I'm being carried away in my barrel?
Yeah, currently there's guards. They picked you up by the barrel. They didn't take you out of it, and are just carrying you away. Do you resist?
I mean, do they realize I'm more than a barrel, or do they just think I'm a magic barrel?
They're not sure yet. They're probably going to question you once they bring you into their guards' quarters.
Well, I sit up from my barrel and I say, why are you arresting my barrel?
Oh, you were sitting on the barrel this whole time.
Okay.
I forgot.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion check. Lord's orders, sir. Nothing to do about it. And they go to like they're going to push you off the barrel.
Well, I think that this is just a misguided...
Whoa! As you get moved off the barrel and the guards...
I think that this is a misguided attempt by the referee to unseat me.
Vortis says, It was a very literal attempt to unseat you.
True. True.
Do you think I could duck and roll out the bottom of the barrel and
There's no way. There's no way you're doing that without getting noticed. There's no way a dwarf pops out of this barrel without it being known. They go, "Wow, this is a heavy barrel," and they begin escorting you towards the guards' chambers. I'd like you to make a perception check up on the wall.
All right.
The game is kind of entering its sort of final phase. And it's very clear at this point that Gorvis has Borvis on the ropes. There's basically no way Borvis can win. However, you notice along the top of the wall 2 skulking figures in robes, both carrying bows. One of them quickly karate chops a guard along the wall in the back of the neck, and then drags him into the room. And then he looks up over at you and sees that you saw him, and goes "Oh shit!" and ducks back inside one of little guard towers that are along the wall, the turrets.
And there's 2 of them.
There's 2 of them.
But one of them's hiding.
They both kind of hid because they were both fucking up this one guard so they could get an advantageous position, not expecting anyone to be along the wall.
All right.
Other than the guards.
I send some sort of signal that I'm leaving my position.
Everyone.
Signal received.
Everyone knew about it. The second you saw it, they could see in your eyes. They were like, "Oh shit, assassins!"
And I pull out my rapier and shield and head over toward them, the assassins.
All right.
I whisper in the ear of the guard captain ominously with thaumaturgy.
Okay, he goes, "That's ominous." That's the good guy, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, Jesus, that was ominous."
There must be assassins.
Yeah. Precisely. You took my words out of my little mouth.
And then I'm gonna gently put my arm in front of Ugrabis and say, "My lord, there is treachery about."
It'll be fine. I'll just keep playing chess. And he makes another commanding move forward on the board, asserting his dominance over his brother in this the great game of chess.
You will be protected.
Pete, I'm going to put my eye up against the little hole as I'm being carried away.
Yeah.
Do I notice where Ukov is near the assassins?
Yes.
Do I
you see him they're kind of moving around, so occasionally the eye hole will line up, so you pass by, but through kind of a jigsaw puzzle of different looks that you get, you understand the entire scene as it's happening before you.
Okay. When one of them gets close to the edge of the wall, I want to command him to jump off the wall.
Shit.
I just have to be able to see.
Are you allowed to do the commands that hurt people? What's your command? What's your one word command?
It'd be jump, or it'd be approach, rather.
Okay. He's going to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw. Is that what it is?
Yes, it is a wisdom saving throw.
I'd like you all to roll for initiative.
It is directly harmful to, so that actually wouldn't work. So I'll have to recon.
Okay, and I'm going to actually have you all roll for initiative at this point.
Have them flee.
Yeah, that's what I'm probably going to do instead.
I am very initiative.
Initiative is hard to do without tokens. Roll 20.
Yes. One of the assassins are going to go first. You see one of the assassins draws 2 blades out of his arms and begins running across the wall towards you. The other one is climbing on top of a guard tower in the northeastern corner of the wall. And you see him with his bow at his back, getting ready to set up a shot on Lord Finkelstein. The one that's running at you is going to take his dual-wield swords and make 2 attacks against you.
Oh, dang. By the way, we are 14 seconds away.
Yeah, I know. It was a little bit over. 23 hit?
Yeah.
Does a 17 hit?
Yep.
You're dead.
5 damage, and then 6 damage, 11 damage.
Oh my god, I'm at 1 health.
Oh shit, nice. The two swords come up and cross into you. Both of them hurt really bad and cut you really bad. This is obviously an extremely skilled assassin. The other one takes his turn climbing on top of the guard tower. He'll be ready to fire on his next. The turn passes now unto dwarf Glundrum.
Glundrum, while he's just kind of rocking around in the bucket, sweaty, tired, being arrested now, I'm going to command the one on the tower with the bow to discard, throw his weapon away.
Fantastic. What kind of save does he
that's
make?
an appropriate term. His wisdom saving throw. Yeah, you just rolled a 20.
Oh, yeah.
That's not classic Pete.
You see him going to take the shot, and he releases the arrow towards the Lord. And as he does, he's also throwing the bow, so the arrow shoots harmlessly into the ground along with the bow. And he looks down around, realizing he no longer has a weapon, and kind of goes like with his hands in a general shrugging motion. A trombone plays somewhere.
Hanging on to the side of a tower.
He's on top of the guard tower in the northeast.
Oh, he's on top of it. Okay, I thought he was
getting like the sniper location.
Gotcha.
That's now the turn of
QCAP.
Fair. Nope.
Oh, is it?
Nope. It's Citrano.
Oh, it is me.
Yes.
I thought I was later.
Yeah, he rolled a 3. I got an 11.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. QCAV, yes. My apologies.
All right, I stabbed this guy because that's what's left to me.
You sure it's not to the right?
Absolutely going to hit. Roll damage.
All right. Let's see him die.
10 piercing damage. Nice. You get like a really meaty shot right in his stomach, kind of like just a shade below the heart. You didn't quite hit the fatal organ, and he kind of like leans into you on the stab, and his eyes glow a burning green of the color of evil assassins. And he kind of like smiles at you. He's not quite yet finished, although he is clearly very close. Do you have anything else you're going to do?
I don't think I can. Oh no, I can and will.
Second
use
win.
My second
There it
win.
is. While you're doing that, we will pass the turn.
Motherfucker.
Onto now is the turn of.
It is I.
Yes, very good. No, it's fair.
No, yeah. So, has anyone noticed the assassins, or are people still paying attention to the game?
Everyone's enraptured on the game. It's in its final moments. Even though the fighting is going on around them, they cannot take their eyes away from the chessboard.
I can see the assassin that's fighting Q-Top, right?
Yes.
Can I pretend to sneeze and shoot a firebolt into him?
You can just shoot a firebolt at this point.
No one would notice?
The game is too close and too fierce to look away. This is the critical moment that decides the fate of this kingdom, and you hit, roll damage. Like this assassin was going in for 2 more sword strikes that likely would have been fatal. However, right as the strikes are about to hit, the firebolt strikes it in the head. It screams in agony, drawing no one's attention, and falls off the wall opposite on the other side. You turn and look at your compatriot across the distance of the courtyard, the smoke pluming off of his hands.
I give a thumbs up.
I give a thumbs up back.
Nice.
And then I'm confused about why I did that. Like, what the hell is that gesture for?
Fair. Now the turn is yours. There's a single assassin remaining atop the highest tower.
Wait, didn't he just get us?
No.
No, wait, no, I'm
Shouldn't it be
sorry.
me?
Yes, there we go. Now it's finally... I said fair.
All right. What do I see?
There's a single assassin remaining atop the highest tower.
Lork, an assassin! I situate myself between him and my benefactor.
Very good. You're taking up a protective stance?
Yes, and I take the dodge action with the intent that it's not going to be like a dodge so he gets shot, but a dodge is in like I will block the arrow somehow. Yes.
Yes, very good.
The deflect action.
I will let you make, because I think it's cooler. I think it's cooler if you make a contested attack roll against him. As it passes to his turn,
All right.
he pulls out of his bag a dagger, and tosses it forward towards Lord Gorvis. This is the critical moment. He'll be attacking with disadvantage because it's at the dagger's long range.
And you want me to make a
what are you? You're
barbarian.
You're a barbarian. So go ahead and make a strength check. So you're going to make an attack roll with your great axe. Yes. The dagger flies towards your Lord Gorvis, and just as it's about to strike into his neck, you place the flat of the axe in front of it, and deflecting it sideways. Gorvis looks back and kind of looks at you and does like a wink and a thumbs up.
I give him a wink and finger guns.
At this point... Oh, go ahead.
And glare at the one that lit my fingers on fire last time.
Fantastic. At this point, the remainder of the assassins have been dealt with. The assassin is completely out of ammunition. He kind of just lays his body down and surrenders. And in this critical moment, Gorvis places his piece forward. Checkmate! Gorvis has won the chess tournament thanks to all of your help and guidance.
Aha!
You have successfully completed my chess puzzle.
Hooray! Pete, I don't think we should be stealing things from the Adventure Zone.
Yeah, I'm not actually going to say that.
You completed my chess puzzle.
That's like my favorite thing that they do, though.
I know, it's great.
Borvis, in this moment, flies into a fit of rage. However, he is arrested immediately by the guards, as the kingdom is now under Gorvis's control, and those who were his allies have now turned against them. Gorvis approaches you and says, I cannot thank you enough for helping me win this chess tournament, and reclaim rightful ownership of my kingdom. Those trumpeters that were being executed before were saved. You are all heroes now. Smile. Camera pans up to the sky slowly and fades away. You have won the day. You all earn 1 experience point.
Seems low.
Which is enough to bring you to level 2.
Oh, shit.
The number, it takes N experience points to reach the next level, where N is your level.
Aha!
Indeed.
What do I get? Level 2. 2 sorcery points.
But you're probably not level up, because Jeremy probably wants to run this at level 1.
Anyway. So Pete, now how are you gonna send it out to the waiting period?
Hey, thanks very much for sticking with us through that hotly contested game of chess. I'm going to be right back with our friend Jeremy's adventure in just a few moments. He's going to be running an adventure called The Owlbear Time.
It's not called The Owlbear Time, but that's okay.
I'm 100% positive that it's called The Owlbear Time. I would stake my life on it.
Guys, new adventure. Save Pete's life.
We'll be right back in a few moments while we set things up. Thank you very much for listening.
Bye.
Goodbye.
No. Hey, everybody. Oh, we're not doing Pete anymore.
Hey.
Welcome back to Pete Jeremy's D&D Time. Hope you enjoyed the break, enjoyed the music. I hope not too many of you left. Oh my god, we're down 7 viewers. That's all of them. Oh well.
Oh dear.
Anywho, I'll be running the next adventure, which is called FDA Approved, other white meat.
Oh.
Today, we will be joined by an interesting cast of characters. My character is not there, so I should probably put Pete's character.
Maybe.
God, I didn't even have anything to do and I messed it up, huh?
Well, that wasn't 15 minutes, was it?
You're a wizard, right?
We can't hear Pete, so...
He is a wizard.
Pete's muted himself. Interesting.
I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm a wizard.
So yeah, let's introduce the
Hello.
party. We have Blooble the gnome wizard, and that's played by Pete.
Hi.
Can you tell me a little about Blooble?
Hi, I'm Booblegop. Bibblegop is actually how it's pronounced. I am a gnome. I'm a gnome wizard of incredibly high nobility. I enjoy casting spells and long walks on the beach, and also short walks on the beach. Mostly, I'm just about the beach.
Nice. And why do you care so much about the beach?
Well, you see, my family was murdered on a beach, so it reminds me of my desire to attain vengeance for my family's murder and keeps my resolve strong.
That's nice. Lots of family death.
lots of death and food. It's harder not to make references than...
We're also joined, once again, by fan favorite, Dratid Kukov Kazoos. I believe that's correct, right?
No.
Oh.
Not even a little. But that's all right.
For people who aren't familiar, you tell me a little bit about
I'm a local hero.
Kaz.
Kukov. I'm a local hero
of chess tournament fame.
Of chess tournament fame. Last time I was here, we dealt with that jerk, Borvish or whatever his name was, and he's in prison now, I think, or dead. Well, no matter. I come from humble beginnings. Killed a bird guy that confused my people.
That's wonderful. Or horrible. I'm not sure which. Next,
a little bit racist.
We'll gloss over that for now. Next, we have
Sleekly, Oak.
Wow.
You may call me Fair. I am a dragon sorcerer tiefling of noble descent. And to be a duchess when my parents pass, and I'm being married off for political reasons. And while I like him, I decided I wanted to see more of the world and go on a little adventures before I have to be married.
Between just you and I, Kasliki, parents know?
I left a note.
Or did you just leave? Oh, them notes. All right, that's fine. We'll deal with that problem later. Probably never. Who knows?
Never.
And last but not least, we have Zaytrano.
That's right, I'm not the least. I am the most important member of our party, as I was right by the side of Gorbis when he won that tournament. I was instrumental.
I heard he saved Gorbis' life.
I did. I also helped author a paper on how egg yolks are bad for concentration. And that advice and paper led to the victory directly.
That's incredible. And so are you like a researcher?
No, I'm a barbarian.
Oh, okay. That sounds right. That sounds about right for egg yolk concentrations. Well, I mean, without further ado, let's jump right in.
All right, where are we jumping?
Can I ask you a really quick question? I'm not on video right now, right?
Just me.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I could eat this pudding without being seen.
All right.
Well, now you have an obligation.
I mean, I was right in sequence with the music, so now you've thrown me off. But
my apologies.
Dark night, dark town. There are no lights around, save for a few burning torches. And a light wind blows down the road. The creaking of wooden signs outside of the Haberdackle Tavern. You all sit. You've been drawn here for whichever many number of reasons. Likely work, chief amongst them. And as you sit in the inn, on your ale, no more than 6 or 7... It's really not that funny, Jamie. not more than 6 or 7 other patrons abound, and none half as menacing as you. You're waiting for a fair amount of time, 5 and minutes, drinking, chatting amongst each other after your heroic victories. And your newest companion,
People go.
suddenly, the door bursts open. And a man runs in, sweat pours down his face. He seems exhausted, tired, and distressed. Clothes seem tattered and somewhat burned and torn, and he yells out, "Help! Someone must help! The Burgermeister's cart has been damaged down on the road."
The
Burgermeister.
The Burgermeister's cart? That's the finest cart in all the lands.
It is indeed. It's burning. I couldn't get in to save him. I was too weak.
It's burning?
Do you have any
I'll stay
water
here
to
and
bring to the cart?
hold down the
hoping there'd
fort.
be water here.
I've already taken
Barkeep,
off.
have we any water?
Oh yeah, we got tons of water in the bag. We got big buckets.
Please supply me with one of these buckets of water.
Right there are piss buckets.
I would rather not piss, but rather have water.
We don't have fresh water here.
This will not stand. I run off towards the fire.
Okay, so Kukov bolts off first, followed by Bibblegop. Who else is running toward the fire?
I just look at what I can do.
Most definitely not Zaytrano.
Okay, Zaytrano, what are you doing then?
So, Jeremy, this is out of character. You are the biggest offender of cutting in and out for me, for whatever reason that may be. Yeah, so I missed most of your introduction, and
you're in a tavern. It's dark. Someone bursts in saying the mayor's cart is on fire down the road.
I got the burst in. That was the action. I missed the setting the scene.
There's a burning cart of the Lord.
Yes. Okay. Yes, burning.
Is he really a lord, though?
Okay, so, Kislikli, are you going as well?
Yeah, I'll go help prestidigitate it out.
You guys start running down the road, Zaytrano taking up a far rear. And what do you prestidigitate? I haven't even described you getting there. Anyway.
I mean, I'm just, as I'm getting dust on me, I'm taking it off.
Okay. Oh, I see. You're keeping yourself clean.
Yeah.
That's a good. Oh.
Yes.
So yeah, as you're running down the road.
Very cleanliness-minded of you, but could you perhaps do it after?
It's just all going in Zaytrano. And you run down the dirt road, and otherwise
I clean him off too.
To be dirty.
So okay, yeah, you're cleaning yourselves off as you go, and as you run, an otherwise dark, moonless night, you see the flicker of flames in the distance up ahead. Kukov, you're the first to arrive, and you can see what seems like it was a very nice car. One of the axles, however, has been broken, and the entire thing is aflame. You hear yelling from inside, "Please help me! I'm trapped within my own wagon!" And you can see that the cart, which had been maybe embossed with gold filigree and inlays, the gold is actually kind of melted into the seams of the door to the wagon, keeping him locked in. So what do you do? You're the first to arrive. You are number 1 initiative.
I take my shovel and start trying to break in the door with it.
Okay, you're just going to bust in the door with a shovel?
Yes.
Okay. So, Kukov pulls a shovel right out of his ass and begins to attack the door. Can you roll me a strength check?
Oh, boy. Yep, I can.
Remarkably.
Or maybe an athletics is probably more appropriate.
That would be better. No.
Okay. Start bludgeoning the door, and the man inside yells out, "Oh, thank you, please, make haste." But you're not doing a lot as you beat the door. You're taking chunks of, like, chips of wood out, but
worry not,
he's
not doing much
beforehand. Next to arrive is Bibblegop. What do you do?
Ah, yes. What's the section of door that he is what's the material made out of? It said it's gold.
It's wood. It's wood, and there's gold inlays like banding that has melted and kind of filled in cracks that were where the door was.
I am going to hold my action at the moment while I think of what I want to do. Actually, no.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Sounds good.
I changed my mind. I'm going to chill 1 cubic foot of non-living material, and that cubic foot of non-living material is the kind of area right around where the dude is to maybe make it not as uncomfortably hot in that zone.
Okay, yeah. All right, good idea. So yeah, you try and chill the material, and it says exactly you warm, chill, or flavor. You sure you're not going to flavor them?
It's also going to be lemon flavored. It's both. It's a combo move.
Okay. So lemon chill. You all smell the lemon chill as you arrive.
Just like
he goes,
lemonade.
"Oh, thank you. It was so unfathomably hot." Next to arrive, Kisliki. What are you doing? Kisliki.
Is the cart still on fire?
The cart is still burning. Yeah.
I start putting out sections with prestidigitation.
You're snuffing out like small campfires worth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
so
one at a
start
time.
Snuffing out the fire. Okay. Zetrano, you are the last to arrive. I assume keeping your distance.
I am keeping well away.
For those not familiar, Zetrano has a fear of fire.
Yes, it looks like he is beyond our saving.
All right.
What are you trying to do?
Yukov smacking at the door with his shovel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're just going to keep doing that?
I don't have any other method of helping this guy get out.
All right.
Unless there's something I could... Is there like a hinge or something I could try and break open?
Yeah, actually, because maybe part of the wagon where there had been like the gold before has kind of like hardened up a little bit from the chilling effect that Bibble got put out. So maybe you could like crack and bend the gold out of the way that's been kind of locking the door up.
I'm going to use the blade of the shovel to try and sort
It's
of...
all like melted into the iron hinges is the problem. So you just need to crack it up.
All right, I'm going to try and do that. What am I rolling here?
Okay. Another athletics, just smacking it. Unless you can think of another roll, but yeah, you're smacking up, and you definitely loosen it up a little bit. You think that someone with an adequate strength could probably pry open the door. You're not sure if that's you or not.
It's not. No, I mean, I call over to my friend and trusted companion, Zetrano.
What can I do for you?
You got to get the door open. We cannot lose the Burgermeister.
The Burgermeister's in danger.
Who is the Burgermeister?
What do you mean?
You don't know the Burgermeister? I mean, you don't know the Burgermeister?
And Bibble, it is your turn now.
I have a question. Is this door locked?
It may be. You're not sure.
Is there sort of a slit in the doorway?
Yeah, there's definitely like a small crack you can probably see through now that Kukov has kind of been smacking at it.
I'm going to create a non-magical trinket, and that non-magical trinket is going to be sort of just a small shim with a flat end so that I could push it into the crack, and then you could hit that and maybe get the crack a little bit better.
Okay, cool.
Pause just a moment. This will aid you in your breaking of the door. And I place it in.
Okay. Case Leakley, what are you doing? All right. Tom?
Keep putting out fires, I guess. Unless there's none left.
No, there definitely are. This thing is burning pretty heavily. It looks like it could parts of it could just collapse. So you're focusing on those areas. Yeah. I guess give me a perception check actually to see which parts are the most dangerous and which parts could use. Okay, so you're just putting out fires as you see them.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's dark. The fires are bright. It's kind of hard to look at them straight. Toronto, what are you doing here? Now you've heard the Burgermeister.
I attempt to slam the cart door open with thaumaturgy.
Okay. It does not really open much, but it like cracks and fractures as it tries to open. It is definitely more damaged than it previously was.
I'm helping from over here.
Yeah. Awesome. Kukav? See the shiv? Jammed in the door? What are you doing? Crack at it? Oh.
Is he muted for you?
Yes, he is. I had no idea what you just said. If you said anything.
Oh God, I've been saying things. I'm trying to break the door.
Oh, you cut out.
You're gone again.
There
he is again. He's back.
Very
shovel.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Double door smack. Yeah, you swing the shovel and the door shatters into a bunch of pieces. Clear opening in. You can see about 3 feet away, huddled beneath what looks like it was a bench on the inside of the wagon, is the Burgermeister himself, his fine blue and gold noble clothing tattered and burned, but he seems relatively unharmed, besides maybe a few burnt hairs. You guys go forward and pull him out, I assume?
Yep.
Yeah, you go forward.
No.
You pull him out of the burning wagon, except Trino keeps putting fires out. And you kind of stand up.
I can't
shocked and shaking.
Colors of the fire.
And okay.
What is the appropriate way to refer to the Burgermeister? Do I just say Burgermeister?
Mr. Burgermeister is appropriate.
What would we have done without the Burgermeister's White Castle burgers?
It's true.
Mr. Burgermeister, what happened here?
Oh, thank you. I was walking along the road and suddenly my wagon was attacked. It was a terrible, flaming arrows and dark sorceries. The gold filled along the sides of my wagon, locking me inside.
Wait. How were you walking alongside walking on the road?
Oh, I wasn't walking. I was riding.
Yes.
Walking is how nobles. Riding is what nobles call riding. Walking.
No, we don't.
Because we're
I learn something new every day. I shall write a treatise on it.
Then you must not be a very rich noble like me.
Well,
the Burgermeister, sensing the hostility in the air, starts talking. Sensing this, But yes, the fires came from seemingly everywhere. My cab driver was taken away, as was my horse, I assume. You look around and there is no horse. There's no dead horse or anything, so clearly they were taken. And he says, it must be those silly Burger Sisters.
The Burger Sisters?
I'm sorry. You're going to have to... What?
Well, do you know nothing of my prolific burgers?
No, I simply didn't hear what you said.
The Burger Sisters, they have been my competition for years, and though...
I see. You no longer need to explain. It has escalated to violence. I'm sure you wish to strike back with a swift and firm hand.
But, no, I don't want to hurt anyone. It's just...
Well, yes, of course, neither did they. You are fine, are you not? Just a little property damage.
I know. He kind of looks at you and takes a couple steps back. You don't work for the Burger Sisters.
Oh, I don't work.
Either you or the...
Can I make a history check on the Burger Sisters? Jeremy?
Oh, absolutely. Please. Yeah. Oh, please do. Sorry. Did I not come through?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the Burgermeister and the Burger Sisters, you kind of get a little bit of both on him. The Burgermeister is a self-made noble. When he was born as like a young kind of peasant boy, and through his burgers, which revolutionized food throughout the land, he became incredibly popular and very wealthy. He's always been a kind of man of the people. He gives back a lot to the local communities. And yeah, he's generally a pretty cool guy. People like him. But his competition has always been these rip-off artists called the Burger Sisters, who try to undercut him by selling what they call discount burgers. And there's always some kind of scheme or big scandal going on with the Burger Sisters. And this is when he implores you, and he asks, if you'll help me find out their latest scandal, we can discredit them and chase them out of the region once and for all.
I would love to see those slandering burger sisters removed from this place. Also, you could treat us to some burgers, maybe,
Oh, of course. Burgers for life.
Ah,
I will give you the golden burger ticket, each of you, one. Or rather, I'll give you one which you can split between you for 1/5 of a burger for free all the time. Wait, 1/4.
Oh, yeah. I tisk under my breath and say new blood.
That seems a little worse than it was initially.
but it is still very good.
Also, I'll give you some Bartholomew bucks.
How many Bartholomew bucks are up for grabs here?
Oh, something around like 80,000.
That seems like you've completely broken my system.
More like 50. But 50 each.
50 Bartholomew bucks each. Those are only attainable through situations like this. They're invaluable.
Remarkably similar to the situation where I saved the liege's life.
Additionally, I could offer 2. No, probably 1 experience.
Oh.
But that's about it.
You drive a hard bargain.
That's what I was about to say.
And if I did not so badly want to see those burger sisters out on the streets, I would say no, but in this situation I have no choice but to say yes.
All right, well, for today, let's head back to the local tavern. I believe I called it the Haberdackle, but I may be wrong. And we can get some burgers.
When you came through.
Yes, that place that is not on fire or near anything that is on fire. I think we should go there.
It's kind of near this burning wagon, but
not as close as we are standing currently. I say
That's
from
true.
60 feet away from the wagon.
Oh, fair enough. Well, let's head back, and we'll treat you to some burgers, full burgers for each on the house tonight, and then we can talk. And so you head back. You head back to the tavern. You are given free burgers. They're very good. Definitely not discount burgers. These are some grade A quality Angus beef. And yeah, you have some burgers. You rest for the evening.
I'm eating it with a knife and fork.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Oh boy.
I do not sit next to her.
Okay. So, Kalixi is sitting at her own table eating this burger with a knife and fork. Everyone else is sitting together, kind of chatting. He's sitting with you, having conversation. Some information that you get about what your quest you'll need to go on in the next morning. There's a tavern nearby called the Weary Knave, which has allegedly been procuring some discount burgers of recent and been selling those out to different people. Some people have reported terrible food poisoning and other sicknesses, but that's about it right now. So that's all that's all he knows about it, as people generally keep tight-lipped about buying discount burgers in front of the Burgermeister.
Of course,
So the next morning, you guys all awaken. You've done whatever you need to do in the morning to get ready. And where are you guys going to go to figure out?
Well, let's begin by heading to this tavern, I think, yes?
Yes.
All right, cool. So you head to the Weary Knave. It is about a 15-foot walk across the street. That's literally just right there.
Well,
Ultra competitive zone.
Yeah. 2 inns, both of them selling burgers. Pretty serious deal here.
This is also the discount inn.
Huh?
This is also the discount inn, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this is a crappy inn. It has it offers great accommodations like piles of hay next to the hearth. There have been some problems with fires in the past, but regardless, you
fires.
I'm going to approach the tavern keep and request one of these discount burgers.
All right.
Everyone should keep their eyes open.
Okay, so you enter
the door in case of fire.
And you see that this inn actually has a lot more people in it. there are maybe 25 people just hanging out in the lobby of this crappy inn. There's not even like a second floor, and you can see there are maybe 10 different terrible piles of hay with like a really rough, terrible blanket next to the hearth.
Can we
it's
see
a fire
them moving
hazard.
with bed bugs?
Oh yeah, you can see the bed bug. They're fat, big bed bugs.
Places
And
like
yeah,
this that
so
make me
you
wish I could
approach the
bathe in
tavern.
acid.
That's
Yes, I would like to approach the innkeep.
Okay, so yeah, you approach the
I
innkeep.
stay by the door.
He's burly looking like half giant. He has no kind of facial hair or any hair really to speak of, but he's very fat and he's wearing like a very dirty white apron and like a crappy tattered brown loincloth. And you approach him and you ask him what exactly? Sorry.
I say, I look conspiratorially left with my eyes and then right with my eyes, and then I say,
I recently stayed across the way and was interested in trying some of their burgers, but I found them to be a bit expensive. If you catch my drift, I wouldn't know if you knew where I could find some cheaper ones. Wink, wink, wink.
All right, can you make a persuasion check here? This is you're going to get advantage for that excellent dialogue.
Ah, thank you.
Okay. So yeah, he just kind of looks down at you, kind of closes one eye, like kind of squinting at you. Oh yeah, what do you want? How many do you want?
Oh,
We got burgers for days.
oh, just one for right now, please. I'm a small man, and I require little food. How much?
Discount, man. Discount burgers. I got you.
Little bites.
Oh shit, we got little people.
Hey, Wendy, go get some burgers. And a red-headed bar wench goes into the back to get some burgers.
Your name wouldn't happen to be McDonald, would it?
That's exactly my name.
I have an eye for these sort of things, you see.
Yeah.
That's all. Sorry.
Anyway, we got these discount burgers ready for you. Anyone else? Hey, how about you guys who just walked in? You want some burgers?
No, I think I'm all set. Thanks. I'm just gonna.
Kind of gives you a glare, like this guy doesn't want. He's like, he seems suspicious.
I note the glare. Why, yes, I would.
How many burgers you want?
Well, I am a not little person, so I'll take 2.
Well, we only. Okay, yeah, I mean that's fine. We can deal with 2. Normally we'll make them in bigger quantities, but that's fine. No. Wendy, there's 2 more burgers. And you hear some muffled yell in the back room, like, got it! And after a short time, the burgers are brought out to you. And Bibblegum, something strange is going on. These look like good burgers. They look like legit burgers.
Can
I
I
look
make...
at him and he only asks you like a few copper pieces per burger. Like,
how incredibly reasonable!
They look real.
Can I make an investigation check?
It'd be more nature. I mean, what are you looking for? I mean, what are you doing? You're looking at like, are you evaluating the construction of the burger, or looking at like the quality of the material?
I'm looking at the quality of the materials.
That would be nature.
Ooh.
Okay, so take the burger, you pick it up, you like squeeze it a couple times, you like open it up. Are you trying to do this at all subtly? Or you just open it up right in front of you?
I'm actually going the opposite way, where I'm like being very ostentatious about it and like really complimenting the hell out of the burger while I like pick it apart.
Oh,
like,
okay. Yeah, Wendy's a pretty good cook. Also, we got our new suppliers, and they're great. Yeah, they're pretty good. And then you're checking out the burger
Who's your
meat.
new supplier?
Oh, new supplier?
Yes.
It's not those 5 guys down the street, is it?
Actually, it is. Those 5 guys down the road. You didn't.
Be careful of that.
How did you know that?
I'm very familiar with burgers.
And this
We have a knack for these sort of
things. You came to the
things.
right place.
And
we're a bit of aficionados. We were just talking to our friend Arby, actually.
I see the health inspector's certification.
The fuck is a health?
Kind of like looks back and forth.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about, lady.
I think she's making up things. She's a little. I'm behind her, and I'm sort of doing like the crazy.
He seems actually like legitimately confused, and you get the idea that in a small town like this, maybe they don't get that kind of stuff. Not like in the nicer, finer cities and things.
They don't get crazy people.
So am I able to discern anything about this burger?
With a 17 nature, yeah, you're able to pick apart the burger, and the things that you expect to be normal are pretty normal. Pickles are just pickles. The lettuce is just lettuce. The tomatoes are kind of wilted, but like whatever, they're tomato. Slice them up and throw them on.
Should it be the other way around with the lettuce being wilted?
You would be surprised.
Very strange. This is a strange burger.
The mustard, you like take a taste of it. It tastes like mustard. Everything seems fine. You get to the burger patty. You poke it a couple times, cut it open, and look at it. This is not beef. But what is it? You don't know.
Yo, no, let me have a taste.
Obviously dig in. Yeah,
I've eaten a lot of different meats.
Yeah, okay. You gotta taste test the burger.
Yeah. So nature.
Taste it. Nom, 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 nom. Eat the burger. You take a big bite out of it. Tastes pretty good, but there's like a hint of something. Can't quite put your mouth on. Maybe it's sour. Maybe it's kind of hard to. Also, the texture is definitely off. Yeah, you can't quite put your finger on it. However, you guys have noticed in the amount of time that you've been standing here eating, a line is kind of formed behind you, and you see the people waiting to get their burgers.
Oh, I'm sorry for holding up the line. Is it good, Jeremy? Are the burgers good?
Oh, you take a taste of it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like it's okay. It's a lot more veiny or muscly, I guess you could say, than you'd expect from beef. So like the texture is the real bad part.
It's gamey.
It's gamey. The taste is pretty similar. It's just a little soury thing. It's kind of hard to put your finger exactly on what it is.
Likely the meat of a wild animal.
Could be a wild animal. It could be. Did you hear a while back when Ikea was using horse meat in its meatballs?
Yes, but I thought horse meat. I don't know. I kind of like horse meat.
What? You're a noble, and I don't even like horse meat, and I'm a low-born son of a bitch.
I see. You must never have been hungry then.
I mean, we had.
You see, my parents were murdered. I've been in lots of difficult situations.
All right. So you guys,
have you ever been in the middle of nowhere in wilderness and have your horse die on you all of a sudden? Because I haven't.
When my second wife was murdered,
they said that it was in their best interest to eat their horse. I reported them to the authorities.
All right. So you guys are kind of almost crowded out of the inn, actually, as more people come in to get their cheap, tasty burgers.
Can I kind of slunk against the wall inside the inn?
Yeah, I mean, you're crowded into like a corner away from like the counter. What's your plan? What are you playing at, guys?
I have a good idea.
What's your idea?
Is there any other been McDonald and Wendy work there? Does anyone else work there? Have I noticed any other staff, like kitchen staff or anything, that have popped out at all? Or
like a guy wearing a crown?
I'm not looking. That's just seems to be them.
It looks like it's just them. Yeah, it's a 2-man show. Unless there's people in the back room. Like you haven't been in the kitchen.
Okay. My next question is, do I know what the Burger Sisters look like?
Is one of them
No,
perhaps a burger brother?
Okay.
You're not familiar.
The next time Wendy comes in and out, when she goes back out, I'm going to cast Disguise Self on myself, turning myself into Wendy. And
like a small Wendy.
Can I make myself
or not.
a size bigger, I think? I don't.
Yeah,
you can't touch me.
Yeah,
I can be. Sure. I'm like a shorter version of Wendy.
Using the Disguise Self spell, you're going to sneak into the back.
I'm going to try and sneak in.
Trying to give Bibblegop a little help, or are you guys just waiting?
I try to be a distraction.
Oh, how are you doing that?
Bar fight?
No. We gotta
Nothing so crass.
distract the bartender somehow. And so I try and get up to the counter.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, Big Mac.
Yeah. What up? How'd you know my nickname?
I've heard it around.
Really. You're knowing some uncanny stuff here.
Yeah, it's destiny, my friend.
Do I know you?
No, but you're.
I walk up beside him and I say, "Well, you must understand, we're real aficionados of the burger world. We're just passing through. We wanted
to tell you that these burgers are something else.
Their preparation is fantabulistic."
Yep. That word is the exact word I was going to use.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We work really hard here, and some people just don't give us the appreciation we deserve. Meanwhile, people just walk right in. You're in the back room.
Yes.
And you see a man, golden crown.
There it is.
He's bent over like the fire, and there's like an iron like griddle, and he's flipping burgers and things. And you see that he's actually like manacled to like an iron pipe sticking out of the ground, and he seems to be slaving away here cooking burgers.
I walk up to him and say, "Hello there. I was cursed by a wizard while I was out waiting on customers." Does he react at all?
Please don't hit me, Wendy. What do you want? He kind of like cowers and holds his hand up in front of his face.
You seem very scared. I'm actually not Wendy. I'm a wizard in disguise here to help free you. Only if you tell me the secrets of this place, but I will set you free.
I'll tell you anything.
Fantastic. I don't even need to roll a check for this. This is wonderful. Please tell me everything that you know.
There are 5 guys. They come here every night at close right around 11. And they bring these large, big, like, sleds full of meat. I don't know what it is, but people, they just bring so much of it. They never let me out. I've been manacled here for weeks.
Okay, I can't really help you at all right now, but once this place is brought down to the ground, I'll come back and make sure that you're free. And also, I'm going to do that whole make him slightly cooler thing, so the heat of the grill does not affect him as much for 1 hour.
Oh, thanks. That feels a little better, but I'm still manacled here and I'm trapped and literally a slave.
We'll come back for you.
No, you won't.
I promise, and there's nothing you can do about it if I'm lying. I walk out.
You walk out and you pass Wendy on the way out, and Wendy is surprised, but kind of shakes her head like, "Oh, fumes getting to my head," and she walks back to the back room.
How convenient!
Really, Big Mac, you guys make a whopper of a burger.
God,
hey, we don't use those words around here.
These puns alignments are awful good.
Sorry.
I turn back into
Max Discount Burgers. That's Mac with a C, not an X. No, it sounds like Mac.
I see. Yeah, I was a little confused for a second.
Well, anyway, I really gotta get old. These people are real hungry, and he starts getting back to helping other customers. So, what do you guys? What's your plan? What do you do?
I start asking the people about What do they like about this fine dining arrangement here? What brings them back time after time?
I tell them about the Five Guys at 11, just for the record.
Sure.
All information flows.
Yeah, all information is assumed to be fluid in this circumstance. So you're trying to talk up the customers, asking why they keep coming back?
Yeah.
Hey, persuasion check. You're talking around.
All right.
All right. So yeah, you're talking to people, and you get a lot of different responses, like, "Oh, the food's real good. Oh, it's real cheap. It's like good and cheap," which is weird, but I'm not questioning it because it's great. And then there's one guy. He's a grizzled old dwarf sitting in a rocking chair by the hearth, smoking his pipe. He's missing the bottom half of his left leg, and there's just a stumpy chunk of wood stuck in there, not even a proper peg. His grizzled, wrinkled face sits right above a large tuft of white beard. And you go up to him. You ask him. What do you ask him? Something. Why do you keep coming here for the burgers?
Sir, you appear to be enjoying your time here. Why does this place tickle your fancy and call you to sit?
He rocks back and forth. Kind of licking his lips. Picking up a piece of lettuce that was maybe stuck in a beard. I'll tell you, this place reminds me of the war. Tasted a lot of bad things back in that war. Things I couldn't quite get my mouth on again. Not until now.
Frankly disturbing. What war were you in again?
The old war. I'm real old. I'm a dwarf. I was like 6 when the war started. I'm 300 now. It was like a 3-year war. I've really been craving this taste a long time. He says, taking a deep pull of his pipe.
And what was the taste, if you were to put a name to it?
Kind of licks his lips. Then he licks all of his teeth. And he spends like a solid 30 seconds just licking a lot. Then he smacks his lips. Taste of man. Smokes his pipe.
I hope you don't mind that choice, Jeremy.
Oh, please do. Thank you. I totally forgot about the music.
Yes, the taste of man. Well, we all have our cravings. Thank you for your time, sir.
All right. Not even going to tip me a burger? It's like 3 copper.
Hey, Big Mac. My man over here.
Yeah? Yeah, no problem. I'll get one for Crazy Joe.
I give him a finger gun. Yep. I give him a finger gun, and in the action of the finger gun, the coins fly off. I retract the finger gun immediately and glare at her.
Okay. So yeah, you guys kind of regroup, share your information, and what's your plan next?
Yeah, I was gonna say these burgers are definitely horse or people.
Yeah, according to Crazy
This is
Joe,
not a Happy Meal.
For some reason, I thought they were going to be owl bears.
Well,
It's,
Throwing you off guard, am I, Pete?
Nicely done. Well, 11 o'clock is the time of the 5 guys. We could wait here and jump them, or maybe follow them. One of those 2 things.
I think
why
that's
not both?
a good idea. We'll follow them and then jump them.
Okay. During that time, do we take a brief rest?
Sure, yeah. You guys take a brief rest. Is there any preparation you want to make before to follow these guys? Any secret plans or whatever?
I didn't learn where they were coming from, did I?
They come into the back room. So there's like a door in the back.
What is behind the shop? Is it like a dumpster alley or something?
No, actually, there's a bit of a clearing and then a forest. Yeah. So you're making an assumption there. Maybe you scout around the back beforehand, and you can see there's actually like a very light path heading into the forest and stopping at that door. Looks like a sled path, perhaps one that's pushed down grass. Where are we at for time?
You have 15 minutes left until the hour.
So yeah, you guys, any preparations specifically?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna maybe I'm gonna send my familiar. I'd never mentioned my familiar up to this point, but I do have a familiar.
Cool.
He's a lizard.
He's a lizard.
And he's just gonna get on a tree as far out as he can, so he can
give you a warning.
Give us a forewarning.
Cool. So you guys kind of stake out the place. You set up. Night falls. Everyone leaves the inn for the most part, or goes to sleep. And around 11 rolls around. It's a bright moonlight. You guys are hidden behind some rocks or trees. And you hear the telltale signs of a sled being pulled along dirt and grass as it kind of pulls through. And you see it come out of the forest. Yeah, exactly. Pulls out of the forest, comes up toward the back door of the tavern. You can see it's piled high with meat. There's a brief discussion as the door opens, and Big Mac comes out and talks to the guy.
I'm going to try and listen in.
Okay, cool. Give me, I guess, perception. All right. He just went to look for it, just expecting it, and forgot to ask. And you hear their conversation. He's just like, you got another big one for me tonight, huh? It's like, yeah, things. Us 5 guys, we're real good at killing.
Keep cutting out.
Oh, yeah, you were cutting out for me too there.
I heard nothing.
We're killing people. And Big Mac kind of looks like surprised, like, what? What was that? Nothing. Have you meat? And Big Mac just like, oh, okay, and takes the sled inside, and delivers unto them an empty shed from the day. 5 guys begin to drag it back into the forest. And are you going to make chase now?
Yeah.
It's gonna slowly follow them.
We do a series of hand signs that implies we'll stealthily follow from a distance and hope to figure out where their headquarters is.
Okay, cool. Can each of you get a stealth roll, but with advantage? You've taken a long time setting up and preparing here, so.
15.
All right, pretty good. Also pretty good.
Hey.
A stealth roll, you say?
Hey, stealth roll, yep. Okay. So you guys start kind of getting along. You're kind of slower than the other guys, and you get lost a couple times, and Bibblegop's lizard has to come and find you.
That's all right.
But
he's not on fire. It's okay.
You're a little late, a little behind the curve here, but in the end, that's fine because you follow them back to their camp. You're very surprised. It looks kind of like an old orc war camp, but it's all burned out.
No.
Yeah, and you see there's lots of like disturbed earth, and it looks like there are like a bunch of graves around. What do you guys do? You've approached the exit, the entrance to this kind of, it's like a burned out palisade, wooden spikes in the ground and everything, making a wall.
See that.
There are burned out tents and things. No, but you hear a campfire in the distance within the old burnt out wall here.
Can I have so we can't see beyond the palisade?
No, you need to sneak in.
Can I have my lizard climb up over the wall and go in and give me a scope on this thing?
Sure. Can you give me a stealth check?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The lizard's dex is what?
Give him an 11.
Stealth.
Higher than that. Yeah, all right. So he kind of sneaks up and peers in, and if I'm correct, you can see the eyes of your familiar, your arcane companion.
Yes, right? And that's the thing that I'm doing.
So you look through, and you can see that there are still there are a fair number of bodies, like dead bodies, lying around by this big fire area, kind of piled, just in a pile almost. There are a bunch of like graves dug up with big piles of dirt next to them, some shovels stuck in the ground, and the 5 dudes are just kind of sitting around a fire, sitting on wooden like logs, talking to each other quietly. They seem to be playing some kind of game, maybe they're rolling some dice.
Okay.
That is what you see.
Okay.
Can you, using his lizard's information, or his information, can I get sight of them?
Yeah, if you guys want, you can all kind of sneak into position if you're planning on attacking them. Is that what you want to do?
I'd like to get within visual 120 feet of them.
Or sure, that's fine. The firelight illuminates them all. They scatter from the fire. You will lose sight of them at this range, though, so you're aware.
So I can see them all, right?
Barely, yes.
Sleep.
What are the rest of you doing? Oh, you're gonna. Oh, interesting. So yeah, you cast your sleep spell. You need to get 90 feet, but that's totally fine.
It's 120 feet. Oh, never mind.
Well, it says 90 there.
Anyway,
3 of them fall down unconscious. The other 2 kind of stand up, confused. And where were the rest of you comparatively? Were you guys all ready to attack?
Yeah, I've got my bow out.
Yeah.
So we'll say this is your surprise round. If you.
All right.
I'll cast sleep again.
Yeah, no, you already just cast sleep. That was your surprise.
Wow. Okay.
Shoot one of the ones that's still up, obviously.
Okay. Yep, you hit him.
So they won't be able to wake up their friends. I'll cause them to slip in grease.
Okay. Okay, so you cast the grease around where the 2 are standing.
Maybe it also gets on the campfire a bit.
And oh boy. And Zaytrana, what are you doing?
Well, I was considering going in and maybe want on strength, but maybe not now that there's grease everywhere.
Okay. So the guy.
Hand axe.
Do you throw a hand axe?
No, I throw it at. I throw it at a sleeper. I mean, not a sleeper.
Okay. Well, you unfortunately miss. The javelin kind of whizzes by and gets caught in one of the corpses nearby.
Wasn't he unseen?
Oh, that is correct. Which one are you attacking? The one that had already been shot, or the other one?
Already been shot.
Okay, so give me the roll. Give me damage.
Oh yes, I forgot that it doesn't roll damage. There you go.
Okay. The javelin pierces through his chest and he falls to the ground, possibly lifeless. Kind of hard to tell. The one remaining guy looks around like, "Oh my god!" and he turns and begins to run. As this happens, the grease catches fire, and the unconscious guy who had just been shot through the chest with a javelin he begins to immolate. We are back around to Fair.
Did the guys make a dexterity saving throw? The other guy to slip on the grease?
Oh, that's a great point. He rolls his dexterity saving throw.
Haha! Damn. He definitely does not.
All right, so Fair, what do you do?
Is he covered in grease, though? He didn't fall in it,
He
but
is covered in grease. Absolutely.
I mean, firebolt.
Okay. You shoot your firebolt at him, and am
I unseen? I mean, I figure he's just running. He doesn't know
at this distance, you absolutely are. Yeah, you hit him. Can you roll your damage? Cool. And can you roll him with the damage again as the grease ignites on? Okay, so he just starts burning. He's like flailing and running into the woods.
A fitting end for a burger-themed enemy to die by grease fire.
Oh gosh! All right. Wow. Kukov, it's your turn.
I shoot him in the back, like a hero does.
One-sided massacre.
9 damage.
All right, he dies.
Capitalizing upon our enemy's unawareness.
He falls to the ground and begins to die as he is on fire. What do you guys do? You're pretty much out of initiative. The last 3 people are asleep.
Grease
Time
on
them up.
fire.
No, they are not on fire. They are not.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
The grease is outside the fire with the other.
Yes, now.
I say we simultaneously knock 2 of them unconscious and then wake one of them up and intimidate him.
We should tie
But
them up.
they're already
beforehand.
unconscious.
But they'll wake up in like a couple seconds. I know that spell because I'm a wizard.
We
All
knock
right.
2 of them out. Like, just so
Okay.
you know.
Bonk, bonk. They're unconscious. There's 1 guy left.
And we
You awaken-
restrain the last guy and wake him up. Like, you know.
What's going on? Who
I
are you
have a
people?
very, very important question for you. Did I just
What?
eat a burger that is made out of the meat of a dead body?
What?
That was perhaps exhumed from the ground?
You're
He
one of
gives
those
you,
5
like, a shocked,
guys.
horrified face. Yes, we're the 5 guys.
You're dealing in people meat.
What? No. First, these are orcs, not people. But no, what? What? No.
What's the meat you're supplying that tavern in place?
It's. Oh my God! And he looks over at his dead friend nearby. You've killed Johnny Rocket.
No. That was, he slipped.
In the grease that I laid out to use to our advantage to kill him.
Horribly immolated.
Yeah.
Monsters. He struggles against his bindings.
I tickle him under the chin with my great axe.
None
I
of that.
wouldn't do that if I were you.
You're gonna tell us everything. How are
You
the
want
Burger
money?
Sisters involved?
How high?
The Burger Sisters? They're the ones who told us about this place.
What are you giving the people for meat?
It's over there. He points to one of the big tents that's still just in terrible disrepair.
Investigation?
I investigate the tent.
Or do we
with
just
my
look at it?
eyes,
Yeah,
and
you go in and you go over, and there are just dead owl bears and owl bear pellets.
Oh, there it is.
It appears they have been hunting owl bears in their spare time.
Criminals that deserve to die.
You're poachers?
Do you know that owl bears are a protected species?
What?
Why did you say you were good at killing people?
What? Well, of course we're good at killing people. We're survivors from the last war. You know,
Why serve these
Why
people?
do you decide to tell the bartender that when we were there?
we're reminiscing of our time in the war. Big Mac and I were platoon mates.
He looked confused.
He doesn't remember very well. Please,
Isn't
let
Big
me
Mac
go.
a human?
Don't kill me.
I thought
Well,
Big Mac was.
You know why he doesn't
Yes,
remember
right, what
very
do you
well,
mean? No,
right?
it's the last
How has he lived
war.
for 300 years?
No, the last war. It was the most recent war.
Shoot,
Oh,
I know
I'm
that
sorry.
guy that we killed. He's Carl Jr.
Owlbear meat is known to cause memory loss.
Here,
I wrote a treatise on it the other day.
Also,
please
food
just let me
poisoning.
go.
You have been willingly subjecting the people of this town and surrounding area to the adverse effects of owlbear meat.
You're gonna have to
No
tell the
adverse
people.
effects of owl bear meat. It's delicious and nutritious.
It's not even that.
Did you
good,
write a
it's kinda
treatise on it?
sour.
I did.
We have but one condition under which we will release you. One, you
He
release.
gives you like a sad, scared face. What do
You'll
you?
go public with this, informing the public that it was the Burger Sisters, and allow the Burgermeister once again to control the burger empires.
Give me an intimidation check.
I'm an intimidate.
I would like to help him with thaumaturgy.
Absolutely. Get it.
My voice booms outwards, I assume.
But it sounds real squeaky.
I'll never help you. I'm a proponent of free trade.
I shall
Executed.
Oh,
X and muted.
All right. Carl Jr. lies dead at your feet. The
well,
other...
I guess
Let's
we
try a
should
different one.
wake up the other one. I shake one of them awake.
Huh?
Well, we're in a bit of an interesting situation here. Do
He
you
just
know?
freezes, staring at you with just
Let's
An
wake up the
open
other
jaw
one
and
too.
wide
So,
eyes.
so when the first one says no and we kill this one, it'll guarantee that the other one does agree.
What a wonderful idea! Not illegal in any way. Like your owlbear poaching is.
Oh no, I didn't know it was illegal.
It's posted.
I didn't even know what we were doing this
signs
with.
everywhere.
I don't know anything. Really? I swear.
Leader of the five guys.
I'm the fifth guy.
What's your name?
That seems like the most important one.
No.
Oh,
the real fifth guy died. I'm really the sixth guy, but no one talks about the sixth guy. He begins to sob.
Oh God.
Well, there's one way to solve that, you know.
How?
Be the hero. Come out against the others and tell everyone that they're feeding people owlbear, and that the burger sisters.
That is a much better idea than I had.
And I will share at least one of my one. I will share half of one of my 1/5 burgers that I get from the Burgermeister with you.
Speaking on that, couldn't one of us just go up to and get a burger every once in a while, by themselves?
I don't know, but
probably.
Do you guys give me a persuasion roll? As a group, everyone rolls 1, and we'll just take the highest.
I have proficiency in that. Well, I'm a noble, so I got proficiency in that.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Right.
I'm sorry we killed all of your friends.
They weren't real friends anyway.
My guilt is now gone.
My heart, it burns with heart disease. And other burger-related ailments.
No, that's the owlbears.
Yes, I told you that owlbears were against the law to poach. You know, there are various reasons, one of them being all of the health complications you have. Death is a very big reason. You're going to die, slowly, painfully.
Oh, God.
Unless you speak out.
Well, no.
I already agreed.
He's already agreed to that, then. Don't scare him anymore.
What are you going to do with Red over there?
I'm a bit, I sort of step.
It's Red Roban, but yes.
I fucking hate that guy.
I sort of step between them, and I do a motion behind my back that mimes offing him.
Oh, see what you just told him?
There's no one there. It's a trick of the light.
He's going to jail.
He seems horrified.
He's going to jail.
He's going to jail. There is someone there, but he won't be for long because he's going to jail. I slide out of the way.
We're going to lock up those burger sisters for life.
All right, so yeah, you guys, poaching owlbears is highly illegal. It was actually deemed a crime against humanity because owlbears are so wholesome that every humanoid in the world deserves them in their life. So yeah, these are basically war crimes. So yeah, you guys head back to town with the. So did you kill Red Roban or no?
We brought him.
Okay, you brought him back. The sixth guy tells everyone what you asked him to. People rally against the Burger Sisters, and they are go into hiding.
As it should be.
However, the Burgermeister is once again well established as the chief burger-related authority. And
the Burgermeister in his White Castle.
In his White Castle. He gives you each, there's a big ceremony, a parade through town with large, paper-mache burgers. Yeah, pretty much. The people are carrying. And at the end, you are each presented with 1/5 of a golden ticket, which, if you put the pieces together, appears to be in the shape of a burger.
By our powers combined, we can eat one hamburger.
Every day for the rest of your life.
Now,
there are 4 of us, and there are 4 days in the week. Why don't we just have a day where one of us?
We have to have all the pieces together, and we're not allowed to have multiple pieces on one person.
I don't think he said that.
Didn't you read it on the fine print? It's written on the ticket.
No, I can't. I only have yes on my ticket.
Yes.
Well played.
And in the end, you guys are awarded your rewards. You are granted your 50 Bartholomew bucks, your 1 point of experience, which for some of you puts you closer to level 3. But for
Level 2.
Bibblegop puts you to level 2. And that's all. I mean, you guys have figured out the burger mystery. The burger plot has been solved, and the world is as it should be.
We did that rather quickly. I would say we got right in and out.
Yeah, the world is a sadder, darker place with the loss of owlbears. So.
All right, I'm stopping the timer.
What was the time?
1 hour, 6 minutes, 37 seconds. I did make a note.
Oh, right, I'm
this
okay
time.
with that.
It took about 5 minutes to go through each person's character.
Okay, cool.
Not 5 minutes apiece, but 5 minutes total. Well, 5 minutes with some other random sort of interruptions. But,
Cool.
And then there was the little
Pete,
bits
was
where
that-
people were.
When you said in and out way earlier, like when Wendy was going in and out, was that intentional, or did you just kind of say that? Because I couldn't tell.
I just kind of said it.
Okay.
I was thinking of in and out puns at the time, but it wasn't time for me to say it yet. I assumed that no one even knew what in and out burger was.
Oh no, I knew and I heard it, and I thought you did that on purpose, but I wasn't sure.
Oh wait, you're from? I forgot. I don't have to talk about this. Jerry,
Yeah,
you're from,
it's really great.
Have those.
I know they're pretty good, actually. So anyway, once again, thanks a lot to all of our guests tonight. If this were actual Pete and Jeremy's D&D time, this might be an opportunity for us to
plug
stuff or something like that.
And then we'd potentially go to the shop.
Yeah, what are the weird books for?
They're used to buy magic items and things from Bartholomew the Grand Mage.
Basically, there's 3 choices. You can buy a potion, you can buy a +1 thing, or you can buy a pull. You can buy 1 ticket to get an item from Bartholomew's Big Bag Bonanza, which is really the only thing I hope that people do.
Which just gives you totally random shit.
Yep, sometimes it's literal garbage, sometimes it's a legendary weapon.
Who knows? Anywho.
Usually it's garbage.
So at this point, we'd go back to, we'd do whatever shopping needed to be done. We'd go back to the intro screen. It's now Pete, you and I are both on the screen again.
Do you have it set up that way now?
I do, yes.
Oh,
hey everybody, thanks for watching tonight. We're here pretty much every Friday evening. I know none of you have anything better to do Fridays, neither do we. But, if you don't, come play some D&D with
Absolutely.
me and Pete.
Once again, if you want to check us out, we have links below to information about our stream, how you can join in and play with us on stream here. We might be running I personally might be running some other games just throughout the week, just for fun with players. If you just want to come in and join us on our Discord server, we're hoping to play lots of D&D and have some fun with you guys. So thanks so much for tuning in.
I won't be running anything during the week, but
yeah, he's an employee of a real place.
All right. Well, thanks again. We'll catch you next week, hopefully.
He's Jeremy.
There were a whole 0 people. Wait. Oh, Pete, don't throw me under the bus like that. And he's Pete. And we're Pete and Jeremy. All right. Bye.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back. That was a lot of fun. I love going back and watching all that. We didn't sync the goodbye Maddie Morgs. I see Maddie's asking in chat, and that is because we didn't even all say the goodbye. But you know what? That's okay.
I know what you're thinking, probably. Pete and Jeremy have gotten everything figured out now, and their stream runs perfect every time.
Absolutely, 100% of the time.
And you might be surprised to know that right now I'm having a bit of a technical difficulty. My internet has crashed at my house, and so I'm communicating to you via cell phone.
And you know what? For cell phone, you sound pretty good, Pete. So I guess just to wrap that little bit up, we hope you guys like that. That was a little excerpt from our very first ever D&D time thing that we did. And I can tell you, based on what you just watched there versus the 2 adventures we ran earlier today, that we've gotten worse. We've decreased. No. But I mean, basically, we're just still running the same awesome, goofy stuff. This is what we're built on. This is what we love. And we hope you guys liked it too.
I have to say, Jeremy, I was a big fan of the font you used for the adventure titles. That cursive font is amazing. The Comic Sans, the Comic Sans is a legitimately solid choice. Yeah, that's a masterpiece. I had a blast watching those, and I hope that you guys also had fun. Honestly, I did not expect the kind of reaction of excitement that we got from that old video.
Yeah. Whoa. And I was going to say, speaking of that, because we have one more game going on this evening, so, hold on to your pants, folks. We got our Legend Tier battle coming up in relatively little time. But before that, we just want to quickly, just to have it out of the way now, just say thank you so much for the overwhelming outpour of generosity and just positive energy and support that you are all a wellspring of in this community. It's incredible.
We were both completely blown away by
in the morning it'll hit me and I'll be like and I'll go crazy.
I was like in chat with a lot of you guys as it was happening. I was just speechless, did not know what to say. And what I know to say now is thank you. My God, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, without, pointing any specific fingers, I just want to say to all of you who, donated any amount of bits or any money or anything to our cause, God bless you all. Thank you so much. We super appreciate your support. It means the world to us, whether it's, 2 bits or a lot of bits. A lot. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's just incredibly generous, and that's awesome. Thank you for everyone gifting subs. I know there were a bunch of subs gifted around.
Yes, some anonymous user was gifting subs, and thank you to you, anonymous user.
Awesome way to kind of pay it forward to get other people involved in the community and get to use our goofy, silly emotes.
Jeremy, can you throw up a D&D time for me since I have no
let me
power?
just throw up a classic D&D time emotes. Boom, that's our classic cheaty D20. And of course, don't forget Rad Tholomew, because you guys are so rad.
Jeremy, can you read me a comment from chat?
A comment from chat? Yeah. Xanderl says, "We love you guys so much. I'm so happy to be part of this community."
Oh my God!
And for so long as well. Yeah,
you know how much we love you, and you know how much we also love this community.
See, Alex, this is a very special one for you because this is the only episode of D&D Time that you have not been part of the community for, because you are here on episode 1 and are still here today, 100 episodes later. Holy shit! But yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you all for all of your love and support. And yeah, it makes our lives just richer. And yeah, just it's all good.